start hanging out more.
Hey, that was really went live quick. That was kind of surprising. But hey, we're live here. I know G wasn't like that because if you're listening to us now, and I put a little link over at Gun Channels about how the ATF and the DEA wants to scan license plates at gun shows. The ACLU actually did a Freedom of Information Act on them, and they got a highly redacted email that shows that both the DEA and the ATF want to. They didn't say that they actually did, do automatic license plate scanning at gun shows.
Yeah. Big brother at work.
I'm thinking about that. You are in a public location, if they have the right to do so, if they get the permission to do so.
Yeah.
It's not like you're sitting there, they're scanning your license plate when you're in a garage.
So that's the new market I'm going into. I'm going to make license plate covers so you can put them on your vehicle while you're at a gun show.
That I like.
That's where I'm going to make my money. Luke found a new
It's legal
career.
on private property, right?
To cover them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
But would a parking lot be considered private property? You did all the cons.
I think I'd rather take the obscuring a license plate ticket till I got far enough away the reader wasn't reading it than have them reading my license plate.
Well,
Yeah.
I know Walmart for sure is private property because there's been a lot of stuff with that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but some of these places, these gun shows, the parking's on public streets.
Yeah, or they're like public arenas or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
I just kind of found it scary when I saw that.
yeah, this isn't the first time those license plate reader things have come up in front of me. I have another YouTube channel I watch that does repos in Utah, and he had a service and equipment where he could ride around and recognize license plates and it sort of geotag them and date it and whatever. And the state passed a law that the private repoers couldn't have that technology because it was too much for them to have. So he had to pull the equipment. But I thought that was sort of a bunch of crap. They didn't even think about talking to him about ways to work around that, or sort of come up with his own system that doesn't violate their law.
The right to privacy?
Yeah. Well, there is no right to privacy for the people whose license plates he was scanning. Just for whatever reason, they decided that they shouldn't be able to have that equipment because it's the equipment that the police use to do their thing. One of those types of deals.
Oh, yeah, okay, I gotcha.
So,
Makes sense.
yeah, if you're a liberal progressive, it makes total sense. But yeah.
Ooh, very nice, Hawk.
Thank you. It's a pretty sweet little setup.
What am I missing? I got my thing all the way up.
I just threw a link in the side there.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even look at that one.
That is sweet.
One of the first survival kits I got finished.
Ooh,
Basically just a knife and a fire steel and a multi-tool.
yeah.
And
Gotta
today
start
you've
somewhere.
got the crickets going.
Crickets or background noise?
I think it's Huck and crickets. You don't have any background noise. I'm used to hearing the crickets from you, and it's from Huck.
Yeah, it's a heater I had running.
Oh, it's a heater. It sounds like crickets.
Yeah, it's probably needed this time of year, depending on where you're at.
Yep, it's just got bad bearings.
Mm. So I missed my shot at a magnesium-framed 1913 Colt. Oh well.
Maybe.
Maybe. You never know.
Yeah, the big bitch about it is if the guy does decide to sell it to me, then I got to walk him through taking it to an FFL in Oregon to have it transferred to Washington, and the state will have a record of it because of their new BS. So, such is life. We got a bunch of different things going on to come at that 594 and get it repealed or taken away, or it's being legally challenged by, I think the Second Amendment Foundation picked it up and a couple other groups are suing. But we'll see how it goes. You know, it is with those laws, it's a lot easier to get them in than to get them out.
Oh, I got a little interesting fact for you, because I remember talking about this quite a while ago on gun channels, but aluminum cased ammunition, you know, I use the same 115 grain, because I picked up some brass ammo today, so I actually got to do the comparison.
Right.
They weigh 60% of what a brass case does.
Right on.
Yeah, it's really light. It's really effective from what I've seen. I've fired hundreds of rounds of it out of my 9 now, my Glock
Yeah.
and Mandy's Glock. It's awesome ammo for $9 a box.
Oh yeah, the
Way back-
federal stuff I like.
Way back when it was, I don't remember if it was PMC or who was doing it, but somebody was making it had a brass rim, but it had a plastic body, 9mm.
I think it was hers.
I don't know who it was, but I found one at one point and I had it in my collection of odds and ammo. It disappeared at some point. I don't know how that happened, but it's always intrigued me. But that Liberty Defense ammo in my 45, it cuts my magazine load weight in half because you have a lighter projectile. I don't know if that's aluminum case or not. It's a silver case, but I never really
It's
checked into it. But all I know is that shit is really light, which is also
nickel
nice.
coated brass. It's nickel coated brass, so.
But it's a lot less expensive to have it shipped than some of the other stuff.
Oh,
you got a 60 or 70 grain projectile instead of a 230 grain ish.
I'm actually looking forward to the summer so I can carry that ammo around.
Yeah. I even got some for my 10mm now.
Awesome.
That stuff is so hot, so it's traveling. Here's the specs for you. Not everybody can appreciate that, but it's traveling at 20. It's a 60 grain projectile in 10mm, traveling at 2,400 feet per second and 785 foot-pounds of force.
Damn.
Yeah. Talk about getting hit by a Mack truck.
That is. Thanks. I was hoping I went to. Tony's got a shooting contest coming up sometime in the near future for repealgunlaws.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hoping to pick up some ammo, some aluminum ammo, because it's winter here and I don't want to pick up my brass. But all I had was a Tula brass and the more expensive white box and Federal, which I tested out the Tula and it works just fine on my gun, so I'm going to go with the cheapest brass. But I definitely would have liked to get some aluminum.
Wait, what's the difference in between picking it up or not?
What's the difference? If I get an aluminum case in the middle of winter, if I shoot that stuff, it either goes into the snow, and it's like you have to dig around and search for it. If it's brass, I pick up my brass. I'm silly that way. But I won't pick up the aluminum in winter. I'll pick it up in the spring, summer, and fall. I just won't pick it up in winter.
Yeah, I actually, because of the way our areas are set up here, it's like there's masses of brass on at all times and shotgun shells all over the grounds and the spots. So I'll pick up what's obviously mine and I'll police what I can. But most of the time I leave most of the stuff that I know people will reload, and then we'll pick it up once or twice a year. We'll pick up a whole crap load of it and just haul it out. Take a bunch of trash out of the shooting spots.
Yeah. Our public range, at least in the pistol part, they recently added these little catch boxes on the right side of the lanes that the ammo goes into and doesn't come back out of. So unless you're bringing your own sort of catch mechanism or whatever, the brass that at least ideally flies ends up in the little box. There's still plenty of it on the ground or whatever, but I don't even like to pick it up.
Well, yeah, my range, I ask you to pick it up, so I try to, and I always police it. And when I go there, everything about winter, I police the area pretty well and pick up, just clean it up.
Mm-hmm.
Do it better than I found it. But it's so difficult in winter to do that. So I like using that, aluminum stuff in winter.
Yeah, they get big barrels of it, but even if I knew somebody who processed it, half that stuff gets walked on before it makes it into the barrel. So you're probably talking about, you probably only net, I don't know, maybe 30 or 40% of what makes it into the barrel is actual reloadable brass.
Yeah, I don't reload. I just throw it in a 5-gallon bucket, and when it fills up, I take it to the recycle place.
Yeah. Well, you get something.
On eBay, Cork.
I don't go through it, and that's a thing.
Well, you don't even have to do that. Say, 4 pounds of miscellaneous brass, any caliber or whatever. People will buy it for more than what its pound weight is.
In the summer, that bucket could be 3/4 full of 22. Because nobody ever picks up 22.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, it adds up. I mean, I'd like to be able to, to say I'm going to reload, but I shoot 9mm, and I just don't see the advantage of reloading it myself at this time. Maybe I'll start saving the stuff and separate the 9mm anyway.
It'd be sort of interesting to see if you could set up to offer load your own 22. Buy the bullets, buy the pre-primed cases. You'd have to find somebody to make the reloading dice for it, or I guess I shouldn't say reloading, the loading dice for it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm actually looking forward to this contest. What ammo was Lou talking about?
That's the Liberty Defense ammo.
Come on, Island, you're out there. You can jump in here.
Hey, Luke.
Hey, Bob jumped in.
A biker, Bob. I was looking at something on another page.
Hey, man, how's it going?
We're gonna rename you Bachelor Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Huck, I spent probably 5 hours sharpening my hatchet.
Damn, dude. How dull was it?
It wasn't so much that it was dull, it had a whole bunch of nicks in it.
Ah, gotcha.
It would still
how would you get those gouges
in
in there?
Huh?
Congratulations. That's not actually sharpening. That's reprofiling, dude. That's another level.
Yep.
You're not supposed to notch your hatchet like that, You use an axe for stuff that's going to do that.
And notch it once for every scalp.
Yeah. I won't tell you. I will just leave it this way. I was getting really, really frustrated at a piece of metal that it was actually just spot welded, but the dang thing would not break apart, so I could get to the copper coils. So I ended up using the hatchet on it, and that did it.
Yep, that'll do her.
But
I'm not much into hatchets.
The blade.
Not that much into hatchets and axe, but my father has a old Winchester hatchet that came from my great grandfather that one day will be mine, and it'll need to be, cleaned up and whatever. But
I tried to look up any kind of information I could find on this hatchet because it's a really old hatchet too, but it's unbranded. The only thing it's I think it's Charleston, West Virginia. And there's a famous axe and hatchet maker from there that often did seconds, thirds, fourths that were unmarked, but you can't tell. So it was definitely one of their defects. Have been sold someplace else.
If you can find their name, man, you might be sitting on a bit of money.
I looked and looked, and I spent lots of time researching it before I started using it. And it's worth what a hatchet's worth these days. You know,
Yep.
$30.
Mm.
So you might as well use
But
it.
that old steel is better.
It is.
Just like buying an old gun. They're better.
Yeah, I spent 5 hours with a belt sander on it. So 15 minutes.
God,
of
you're gonna
cool
burn.
15 minutes of let it cool.
On a belt sander, that's a long time.
Well, it wasn't a high RPM belt sander. It was pretty low. And it was when it just got warm to my touch. That's when I took it off.
Yeah, when I was at Weimar, hanging around getting fishing stuff and finding guns that I couldn't buy, they had a knife sharpener there. It was a belt sander, and by their literature, they made it sound like that you were getting a better edge from the belt sander sharpening than your conventional grinding because it had more of a radiused edge. I don't know that I agree with them, but that's what
Yeah,
the literature marketed.
it's just marketing. That there's been a lot of belt-driven stuff since the Can Onion Work Sharp came out, or the I think that's it.
It's just a
Sharpmaker.
work sharp, yeah.
Yeah.
One of those came out and it's belt-driven, and it's a good tool and everything, but it's a different kind of tool. It's for a working edge. It's for something you're going to resharpen all the time. It's not for
Right.
a high-dollar knife or like a defensive knife or anything like that.
Nope.
Yeah, I figured as much.
I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong. I've seen some pretty impressive edges with them, but I mean, it's when it comes down to it, the stone's the only way to finish a knife.
Yep.
What's happening?
Hey, Ed.
Joined us. Oh, yay.
Hey, Jeruni.
Got a celebrity. There you go.
Yeah, I thought you might be rolling one over, and then you hadn't sent me a link, and Quirk had one up, so I hopped in, and then you sent me a link, and I was like, okay.
No, I wasn't doing
What
the
do I do
chat.
with this? All right.
I wasn't doing the chat. The link I gave was to the after chat, if you will.
Yeah.
Off air.
Out
Yeah.
here.
All right.
But yeah. How's it going, Matt?
By the way, Edge, I
So
want to talk a little bit about man knitting here, since Edge is into man knitting. That's working with paracord. You find that pattern yet for doing
Did you make yourself a new song?
the quick release bracelets?
No, I've seen it pretty good. I've seen a couple videos on it that I'm definitely
I
gonna.
thought he was making a man's ear.
No.
Well, I thought I was the only one doing that shit. I made a couple of paracord bracelets. I actually got around to buying the fancy little plastic clasps and everything.
Well, I've been putting on Instagram my little deals, and
Hmm.
it's really cool. I have a fun time. The only thing is, I'm one of those people, I guess, it's that OCD thing that I tie the shit out of my knot.
Interesting design there. Huh?
Thank you. It's a half hitch, basically.
I tie the shit out of my knots real tight, and man, my hands hurt like a mother next morning.
Nice, huh?
Yeah, I've been actually considering putting together one of those little tying boards for the bracelet thing. And of course, there's a YouTube video on everything, so there's a video on how to make one. But
If you guys are making the bracelets, I just found a seller on eBay that has bracelets with a compass built in, and then they have bracelets with a flint and striker built in, or the buckles rather, the little
Yeah.
compass buckles.
Yeah.
they're rather expensive, but there's one company that's offering one that has like 24 things in it.
Yeah.
But they're actually using paracord that has Dyneema fishing line built into the paracord.
Nice.
So it's got extra strands that are just the fishing line.
Yeah, it's like $70 or something like that, and it is cool. I mean, they put a lot of effort into it, obviously, because they got all that gear in it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Shit, when these guys first started making these, before it was huge, they were getting $30-$40 for the single bracelets, just for the bracelet and the buckle.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, I mean the buckles. I got a deal on eBay. I got 100 of the buckles for like $10 or no, like
You order them from the U.S. Edge?
I believe I did. I'm not sure, but no, I mean they have the rate whistle on them. They don't have the.
Oh,
They don't
cool.
have-
That means no.
They don't have the striker. The striker is cool though. That striker piece you're talking about. But
Yeah, it's cool because like the center post of the buckle is like the striker, and then the other when you
Right.
pull it apart, the other piece has the striker, the actual steel on it.
Yeah, those are cool. I'm just gonna get some D shackles or
Yeah.
Oh, shackles, one of the
I
two.
mean, some of them. I mean, they're working in. They got fishing hooks sort of up in the weave. Some of them have some sort of like. I've seen. I think I've seen both. Either surgical tubing or some sort of straw material for like a drinking straw type of thing. There are all kinds of cool shit they worked into it.
I know I know which one you're talking about, and they have like quite a bit of stuff in there packaged. Assuming you're gonna take it apart one of these days, and which is the idea, right?
Right.
Yeah, you never want to take it apart.
It's not a Leatherman's tool. It's truly you got to survive with what you got on you, and that's all you got type of thing.
This is the last one. I gotta put a picture in the internal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those fishing bracelets are really, really cool. They got like a couple little split shot, and the couple of hooks, the line. Only problem with them is you got to sit there and weave the whole thing. It's not a quick release type method.
So I did one similar to that, only it was all out of the same colored cord for my Sun Edge.
Mm-hmm.
But part of the reason I did it like that, with the words, it actually worked in like 19 feet of paracord for, he's 12 years old, so his wrist isn't huge. I think his circumference measurement was 7.5 or 8 inches. But he thought it was pretty cool, and it has about 18 feet of cord in it. I was going for maximum cordage.
A little under 20 feet and on the braid. When I do a double cobra stitch, that's usually when I get a king cobra stitch, what they call it. There's another one that I made before that, and that one's pretty cool. That's
my fingers were pretty sore after it was done because I sort of went freestyle, and I ended up doing it like 3 times before I got all 18 feet I wanted into the bracelet, and it still looked nice.
You don't really know how many monkey's fists I've started and completely undone because I screwed up. After completely tightening them, when you get them completely tightened, forget about it.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Another one I made, and one I made for my daughter, my 11-year-old daughter.
All right. I'll check that one out real quick, then I'm going to go look at Huck's link you just put up. Nice. Yeah, the local local surplus store is selling the buckles for, I think he was asking 50 cents a set, which isn't great, but he had them in multiple different colors or whatever, and I didn't have to go on eBay to find them.
Well, I mean, the local guy here, when I bought them, they had the Rothko ones, and they're like a pack of 5 for $5, and you go on eBay, you get them pack 100 for like a little under like 10 or 15 bucks for that. And I got all those.
I'm not looking at doing that kind of volume, but they had for 50 cents a piece. He had them in like 9 different colors. So
Okay.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Black, yeah.
So they do actually sell firearms and ammo and all kinds of surplus shit. Eventually, I'm probably going to have them on a hangout, but it's called Southwest Washington Surplus. And I think the YouTube is actually swsurplus.com. If you want to check them out, they're sort of local to me or whatever. Shop. Let's see if we can get them out. And
well, the good news.
Maybe I can actually do a walkthrough, sort of standalone YouTube video doing a tour of their place. They do training for concealed carry and all kinds of fun stuff.
All my bracelets come with rape whistles, so if you're ever in the woods and you're inconvenienced,
you can get raped.
You have a whistle that you can harp on. That hopefully will.
I think I saw that link the other day. Did you put that up in a YouTube post?
Me?
What?
The 100-blade multi-tool with pistol. Was it you or G-Webs that put that up?
G-Webs might have done it. I put it on Facebook.
It was on Facebook where I saw it, so it must have been you. That's pretty tight.
That's awesome. By the way, Bob, that link in the internal I just put in there is for you. Other people can look at it, but...
That's a cool tool. I've seen actually multi-tools on that were like that were on one of those, bargain hunter shows, auction hunters or whatever.
So with the 7 core, does that have fishing line in it, or is it just the quality stuff?
Well, it's just 7 inner strand. That's typical 550 USA made.
I'd have to go digging it up, but when I was bouncing around all the little paracord things, I ran into a company. They're offering paracord items, but they also had the raw materials, and you could get the paracord that had its original strands, plus they add the fishing line and it's like a cotton thing that you can fray that works for a fire starter.
Oh, nice.
Woven right into the the main part of the paracord. It's sort of cool.
Now, if you get one with a hemp cord in the middle, that if you don't use it for a fire starter, you can also smoke it for when you're really bored. But
there you go. That's legal in my state now.
That'd be Canadian, or Washington, and where else? Arizona or somewhere.
I was watching those. They're having these pot dispensary machines now. They like, instead of getting a Coke, walk up there and put your money in, and get your weed.
Yeah.
Is it pre-rolled, or do you have to roll it yourself after that? I would expect it would be pre-rolled.
No, these are just I think the content, if you will.
Well, I see. That's because you used to be able to get cigarettes in machines like that.
So Huck, you'll have to let me know what it's going to cost to get you to do the lighter sleeve multi-tool thing, but with my pattern on it.
Right now, I kind of wish I had Amazon Prime because I don't want to wait till next week to get this stuff in my cart.
You not wanting to pay shipping?
Exactly. I'm looking at 2 days, and I'm like, I could have it Friday, but it's $52, total instead of.
Yeah, anymore when I do the YouTube, unless it's just a flat out hard to find item, I do a search for buy it now and no shipping charges. That's
I know. I'm getting 4 different pair of cords and some D-shackles.
Yeah, I bought some little D-shackles, or as little as I could find at Lowe's, and they're still pretty freaking big.
Yeah, these are 1/2 inch, or the smallest ones I could find online. They do like 3/5, I think, at Home Depot, but they're like $3 for one.
Yeah, this one I got was stainless, and I think it was 5/8 width at the opening, and I think the overall length on it, the long ways, is closer to like an inch. It's pretty stout. It's actually the same size as the little one I bought for the internal stopper when I used the gun safe when I traveled to keep the cord from pulling through the side.
Yeah. So Luke,
that program changed.
Did you hear about my second handgun?
I didn't know you were only a single handgun owner, but I knew that you had your Browning high power. What did you pick up?
Oh, Ruger Blackhawk.
Blackhawk.
Oh, well, because you got to be different, right?
What, like?
That's too much.
Fuck, it's a beautiful gun to shoot. It's light.
What length barrel?
4 and 5/8.
Them old shaky hands gonna pop you right in the head.
I don't like much over 4 inches in revolvers. Otherwise, it just looks gangly to me.
Well, and they just get long and bulky. But yeah, it's a 357 9mm convertible.
Cool.
It's got 2 cylinders, so that's kind of neat.
A lot cheaper to shoot the 9mm than the 357, that's for sure.
That's why I bought it. Do you know how cheap I am? That's one of the reasons I bought it.
Are you one of those people that squeak when you shoot a penny?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll be polite and call it being frugal.
Yeah. Well, my parents were children of the Depression, so yeah, they raised me right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my grandpa. when I was little, he showed me the toys they played with when they were in the Depression, and actually how to make a toy tractor
Oh
out
yeah.
of the stuff that they had around the house. So the toy tractor he had me make was an old wooden thimble, sewing thimble, and you put
Yeah.
little notches in the raised edge around it. Then you took a rubber band, a piece of soap, and a matchstick, and you sort of put the rubber band through with a smaller piece of broken off matchstick, and the soap was to let the other matchstick spin. So you made a little washer out of it, out of the soap. Then you spun it up, and then it'd run across the floor. But it was sort of cool. That's what they had to work with when they were
Oh yeah.
in the Depression.
Well, my mom told me about the best Christmas she ever had during the Depression. She got an orange.
That was big shit then. That was
Oh, that
back
was big
before
shit,
fruit was
yeah.
readily available.
Yeah, an orange. Like she was just like, over the.
You're,
But I mean, like she told me about how they used to plant potatoes. When they planted potatoes, they didn't plant like parts of potatoes like we do, or a whole potato we do now, like a seed potato.
Mhm.
They would plant the peelings off potatoes. As long as you had
Right.
an eye on
Skin 'em.
it, it would grow.
Mhm. Yep.
And Grandpa
had to
used
be
to go shoot
thrifty.
pigeons under the bridge.
hmm
Yeah, those were the people who grew up and knowing how tough it was.
hmm It was a simpler time, though. You didn't have to have an iPod and laptop to get by in the world.
Well, you wouldn't have been able to afford one anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, would have had.
And I just I sit back sometimes and just ponder it, where mankind has gone technology-wise in the last 200 years. It's just, it goes from, what we look at as being like the Stone Ages to what we have now in such a short period of time.
100 years ago, we were flying with using twine and wood and bicycle chains, and now we're, basically flying to space, and we're flying 700 people around in a great big aluminum tube.
Yep.
I don't mean to cut in, but I just got a Glock 42.
Oh, badass.
Hey, congrats.
Fucking stoked. I'm trading for my Henry 22 mag. Been trying to trade it off for a couple months now.
I wanted the 22 mag, but I couldn't justify getting it home. Sorry.
Yeah, the shit's a problem. Most people, the shipping or driving up here from Phoenix or driving from wherever they are, it's just not worth it in the long run.
Yeah. Well, it was more for me. It was the grief I was going to get from my wife.
Oh, yeah, that too. That too.
Oh, well, if I'd been coming down this year, Huck, I might have bought it from you while I was down there. Just to leave down there, to have one down there, but
Yeah, well, they're
have you looked into whether or not they're going to let you bring your toys down with you?
Oh yeah, they will. Yeah. My permit will actually. It's really weird. My permit allows me to take everything to the border without having to get special permits or anything. As long as I got it, I can just go to the border.
Right. Now, for you visiting with firearms, does our border patrol take a log and make sure that you bring back what you brought with you, or how does that work? Or have you found out that
Well, that's
much?
the thing, is your border patrol doesn't even check me on my way back. Mine does, but yours doesn't.
Right.
It's just like when I go in, mine doesn't check me. Yours does. Really, they don't know what I'm bringing back, and my country doesn't seem to care. Apparently, I gotta go down there a couple times. My brother says they don't, and I've had other people tell me, no, they don't even ask what you're bringing back. As long as you got your permit, you're bringing guns back. They don't go and look up what you took out. They don't mark it down. They don't give a rat's ass.
As long as it's lawful to own and you're coming back with it, they can really care.
That's exactly
like a pretty good program.
Yeah, it seems good to me.
I have a feeling it'd go totally opposite for us, going up there and trying to bring toys back with us.
Probably. I don't know. I don't know if our country. Well, no, our country would be like, oh, you didn't bring that with you. You bought it here. You can't. You're not allowed to because you're from America. Something stupid.
All right. Or our government would say, why are you coming back across with a gun? Because we know we didn't let you leave with one.
Yeah, my government would say, okay. If you want to leave with guns, that's fine with us. I don't care if you bring them back. Less guns for us.
Yep.
But yeah, that Blackhawk's nice to shoot. I found 357s are a little bit. Well, the recoil's not bad. It's a freaking muzzle blast is just bizarrely shocking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
No,
more
you-
shocking
yeah, you know-
than it is blinding. I mean, it's not very bright. It's just
It's just
You don't
that
want to take a
also
high,
you can't
high
see in
foot
front
can
of
to
you.
hold it.
Yeah, there's just this sheet of fire.
Yeah, get your hand up by that forcing cone when you shoot it. That's a whole new experience.
Yeah, no, that probably won't happen. Yeah.
You don't want
I
any
actually find my
embedded
big problem
lead
with
fragments.
Blackhawks. That Blackhawk's got such small grips on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to.
That's okay. You can order those if they're easy peasy to
Yeah.
change.
Yeah, well, same. Yeah, same with the Browning. I've been bitching about the Browning grips too, because they're. Yeah.
Just
I mean,
go
they
to
really are
just go to
wonderful.
Hogue, find out. Go to Hogue, find out what model number you want, and then search on eBay for
Yep. Oh yeah, my brother went and told me, oh yeah, you go look on eBay, and I went on eBay, and yeah, there's grips everywhere, but it's like, oh crap, now I gotta look up what model number and actually make sure I'm ordering the right stuff for once. I found out you don't want
I'm
to
headed-
fan. You don't want to fan those Rugers if you're not wearing gloves.
Yeah, not such a great idea.
yeah. Well, the ones you're supposed to fan have a big wide spur on them. I mean, they have a big flat spur that's not as aggressive.
Yeah, well, this one's right aggressive.
Yep, I did that with an old 22, man, and it just literally just peeled the meat off my palm.
Yeah. Well, just it was a one little gouge it kind of ripped out. I think I was just my hand was a little sideways or something, but yeah, it just kind of sawed through my meaty part of my hand, and I went, "Ow!" That's why those guys wear gloves.
Bing bong, somebody's in the elevator.
Yeah, headed for it.
There you go. So see what I've got up for my picture here, Luke. That's what my brother's boss is putting in his pickup truck for a motor. About a 67, 69 Ford pickup. It's something out of some kind of helicopter. Not sure what. But I think it's one of those little Bell. Oh, what the Marines use them for, the little birds. So yeah, it's supposed to have something like 900 horsepower. He's going to put this in his pickup truck. For fun.
Yeah, the trouble is that horsepower is developed at such a high RPM that you won't be able to move the car.
Oh
off
yeah,
the
well
line.
apparently he's got something all figured out for this. This guy's like, yeah, he's a
Yep.
bit of a genius, but a very strange one. Neatest guy to ever talk to though, because he knows everything. He's the only guy I know who can go up to an old car in a junkyard and look at the serial number and tell you what that car came with for a motor, what year, what type, what factory it came out of, what color it was, just by looking at the number. Oh, no, Huck's got something else he's showing off. Well, that's a heavy-duty pocket knife. How thick is that thing, Huck?
5/16, I think, maybe a little more. Pretty thick.
I could probably baton with that.
4/16.
Hmm.
Nice and thick for a pocket knife. Oh yeah, you could definitely baton with it.
Yeah.
So the handle's stainless. It's got a really nice pivot. It's a clone. It's a Chinese-made clone.
Really?
I was I had a buddy selling off a whole bunch of clones, and I ordered this one from him, and he sent me a bunch of others too, and this is the one I decided to keep. I can't
yeah.
sell any of them. Like I can't advertise them because they're clones. I don't want the bad press from it.
Yeah, exactly, I guess, eh?
I think I'm gonna turn this one into like a Stormtrooper or like a Boba Fett knife.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
A nice like sand or tumbled finish on it.
Yeah, yeah. I still want to make my rotary barreled handgun for a cosplay.
Nice.
Oh, that'd be just so cool, man. If you used it, you could get 22 blanks. When you fired it, it would just like spit them out the bottom as they fired. Use an electric drive, but you could have a little steam generator that make it look like it was steam powered, so you could do a steampunk thing.
Doing this one for a guy.
Oh, that's nice.
Mason's compass and square.
Engineer type thing.
Yeah, he's a Freemason of some kind.
Yeah, nice gimping.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, by the way, I just noticed somebody asked this question. Wolf Raven 82. Anyone shot a Steyr S9A1 or know anything about it? Says there's somebody who's got one for sale by him for $450. So he wants to know.
That's the full frame pistol, right?
I'm not familiar with it.
Steyr what?
Oof, hold on a second. My email's acting really slow. S9A1.
I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably a really good deal because those are pretty expensive.
I have no clue, so.
I'm still looking them up there. I just don't remember what they run. I've shot them. I've played with them. They're really nice little guns. They have awesome sights on them. I believe that's the compact. I could be wrong. I'm looking them up on Gunbroker right now. But Steyr makes some pretty sweet little pistols.
Yeah, they got a good reputation as a gun manufacturer.
Right.
I accidentally made an order on Amazon, and now I've got to put stuff back in my cart.
Aw.
I hate when that happens. Well, they screwed it up. I was supposed to have second-day shipping and like 2 items that wasn't in the cart that was in the cart when I had confirm order. So it's only shipping me 2 items instead of 4.
Sure. That sounds reasonable, Quark.
But they took all 4 items out of my cart, so I have to go back and put them in there.
Wow. No, that's gotta suck.
Exactly.
Sorry, just bugging you. Now my my favorite online gun broker has Tavors, VZ58s, Chris Vectors. It's kind of the shit. Doesn't have grands yet though. But you know what they want for a Tavor? $24.95.
Okay, so these Steyrs, it looks like that's not a super deal. They're selling from anywhere between $350 to $499 new. But it's they have really good reputations and stuff. They have really nice triggers. Apparently, DV says they have a good trigger. I just remember really liking it. I was kind of younger when I shot it, so. But that's not a bad price if it's in good condition.
Okie dokie, I hope you heard that.
How's the Walther treating you, Quark?
I've got 210 rounds through it, so it's been treating me fine.
Do you like it so far?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Cool.
How can you tell with that few rounds through it though?
Well, Bob, buy me everything I got in my cart right now. Get to me second day air, and I'll go out and spend that money instead on ammo, and I'll go get another 200 rounds through it.
I just buy them 1,000 at a round or at a time. It's way cheaper.
That's true. You could just buy me the ammo instead.
Yeah, right. Buy
I
one.
honestly don't shoot that much either. I haven't been shooting in 4 or 5 months, I think, since Chris was up here at least.
Well, I went wild when I bought that Browning, so I put.
You're really low, Bob. We lost Luke and we lost Age.
Yeah, Yankee came in and sent a bunch of nasty private messages to him about us.
Oh,
Ah, okay.
that's all right. He says nasty things about me all the time.
Yeah, and you're very low, Bob. I can barely hear you.
No, it's because my microphone slid around to the side. It was in my ear. Oh, here's one I want. There we go. This is what I... Actually, I'm kind of thinking this would be a neat thing to buy for the next, just shit, some giggles toy, right? Where is it? Paste. Yeah. See, look at that. I think I've showed this people before, but I mean, the stock folds out. It is restricted, so you have to deal with it like it's a pistol, but fuck, it's so cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet, and 32 is not bad.
No, and you can get it in 382 at the same price.
Who makes it?
Scorpion? They're, I think, VZ.
Is it an actual CZ? I think that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
It says CSA.
CSA VZ 61, yeah, so.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean. But it looks like something that'd be really fun to pull out at the gun range. What are you looking at? I have to write it in. Your prime minister comes next month.
I left Amazon before I make the order. I'm gonna regret anyway. So, why does paracord have to be so dang expensive?
Pay for what you get.
Yeah.
I know.
I go buy the surplus stuff in the Army Navy store here, and it's, I don't know, it's OD green paracord. It seems strong enough. I can hang off it. That's what matters.
OD green paracord at my surplus, the Army Navy store. It's $20 for 50 feet.
Really?
Yeah. That's about the normal price for a utility cord. Actual parachute cord's pretty expensive.
Yeah, it's like
It's just $5.50. That's all it is. It's just $5.50 paracord.
we get hanks of it. It just looks like it's cut off, whatever, eh? And it's I think 50 foot you get for $4.99.
It's just crazy what they charge way too much though.
Yeah.
They
Well,
I haven't been in there in 2 years, but they were charging $20 for a 50 cal ammo can.
Yeah, that's crazy. My surplus store is real surplus. It's like some of this stuff isn't even been washed, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, I figure what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to Home Depot tomorrow if I'm feeling up to it, and get myself a couple of D shackles or bow shackles, whatever they have. Because I know they got one or the other. I can't remember. And try to make myself a bracelet with one of them. See how it works.
Yeah, you might as well. You got lots of time, man. You can do shit like that.
You're retired. You got a
Yeah,
lot more
but
time
I
than I
gotta
do.
move, man. You know how much shit I gotta move? It's fucking ridiculous. Thank God my brother-in-law says I can use part of his barn.
I
I'm
got
not
this
kidding.
silly, stupid chainmate chainsaw thing in my cart still. I don't know if I should delete it or buy it. It's
Oh,
$11.
don't buy that. We told you about that. It's not a good idea.
Yeah, Lee was talking about it. Gee, Lee.
No, if you just want to use it for, chopping zombies' heads off or something, sure. But if you actually want to use it for practical wood crafting or, survival purposes, buy something else. Anything else.
Wait, I missed that. Anything other than what?
Well, there's those chainsaw. They're like a wire cut saw, but they use a chainsaw blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just trying to convince them, like, buy any kind of little folding saw or bow saw or
Yeah,
anything.
but you can't put that in your pocket. You can't drop it in your pocket or your back
I
pocket.
remember when I was a kid, I got a survival knife that actually had sort of like a wire rope saw.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool. I mean, it was pretty ineffective, but
Yeah,
it
they're
was so
not
cool.
super effective, but I mean, if you need it, it's better than nothing. It's
Well,
better than having a saw back at your house.
we used to have saws, like wire saws like that, for cutting off the horns off cattle. Those ones were really good. They were expensive, but they were really good, and they
Yeah,
worked
I was
real
just gonna
fast.
say, if you want a really good one, get either a butcher's saw or a braided wire saw. The braided ones are
Yeah.
fantastic, and
Yeah.
they will actually tear through wood. Again, not nearly as effective as a real saw or axe, but if you can keep it in your pocket.
I'll tell you this much: the sort of braided ones or whatever, don't use them on really wet wood because it just plugs up the pores and then it sucks.
Yeah.
Needs
And
to be dry, nice and dry wood.
Yeah, but you're far better off like one of those little pocket folding saws. They only have to have about an 8-9 inch blade, and they're good enough for doing pretty sizable wood. Way more effective, less energy. But again, a small camp axe would be way better.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a hatchet.
You've got a Mora knife, you can just use a log to hammer that in, and you can cut pretty much anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That is true.
those I forget who the manufacturer was, but that group of knives you had up the other day, Huck, that had
Yeah.
like 6 or 7 of them. Whoever the maker of that knife was that what made that knife? The people that made the knife that I was telling you my dad found on the road one day.
Nice. Yeah, those are
I
bucks.
think he still has it somewhere.
Nice. They're all very.
The story goes that when he found it, it had blood on the plate.
Oh yeah.
But anyhow, someday
Just
I'll have
wash
it.
that off and.
Yep, I've gotten quite a few blades over the years that have been damaged or bloody.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, I took my son to, what is it now? I can't remember. Wholesale Sports or whatever the other name is for it. I forget now. But took him to the sporting goods store anyways, and they moved things around, and he walks right by the knife rack, and he just stopped. He's like a headlights, He's like, oh, all these knives, because he's already collected. I think he's got like 10 or 12 knives in this collection, all the ones my old ones that he glommed off of me or whatever. But it's like, oh, there's so many knives, so many choices. And, yeah.
Alright, today is August 30th.
Yeah, could be that.
Tomorrow is my dad's birthday.
Got the YouTube video.
Good to know. Tomorrow's your dad's birthday, and it's August 20th. Sorry, Luke. I just had to say that.
Yeah. Anyhow, so I'm gonna put a concerted effort starting next week to try and be on more frequently, which will probably be more like, won't be like the old days, but I'll try and be on at least 3 or 4 nights a week.
That would be nice. You'll be on about as much as I am.
Mm-hmm. Been toying around with the idea of doing like a 1-hour hosted show. Maybe doing like at first I was going to do news of the week or whatever. I think I'm thinking about honing it in even a little bit closer than that and going with self-defense shootings of the week. And I'll have to do some media research. I'll just have a sheet with a bunch of links that I can share with the panelists, but we can discuss instances where people are actually able to use their gun in self-defense or something like that. Be sort of a recurring topic.
That'd be
We'll see
interesting.
how it'll be either real interest. It'll be either really good or it'll be a classic fail. Time will tell. But nobody else is really doing that.
No, that is true.
We'll see how it goes. So that I don't interfere with the current schedule, I might go earlier in the day. If I plan ahead or whatever, I could probably get one set up at about, I don't know, 5:30 our time. So whatever that be for everybody else, offset from the West Coast. But 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, depending on where you're at.
I was gonna say something, I forgot. Oh yeah, Walking Dead comes back Sunday.
I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. Oh, we lost Tuck. Dang it.
Yep. He's got work to do.
Yeah, that's gonna be so cool.
I got high hopes.
I hate the way they break up the seasons. It's like you just start getting back into it, and then it's on another break.
Yeah.
they-
It used to be they'd only have one break a year. Now they have like 2 breaks, and you get kind of like 2 little seasons.
I think I'd rather have it like every other week or once a month or something like that than with no breaks than what we got currently.
Well,
Yeah.
the way they have it scheduled, they start October and then they go through, November. Then they take the holiday break, as I like to call it, and then they come back in February.
Right.
Which I looked, I took a look at Blacklist. That's on NBC. It
Uh-huh.
stopped November 10th,
Uh-huh.
and it just came back.
Yeah.
That's even a longer break.
I had just got started into that. Is that one in its second season or third season?
Yes, second season.
I think I'm still working on season 1.
Hey, can you guys get Crave TV down there?
I don't know.
I know.
I don't know what Crave TV is. We
Oh,
could.
it's kind of like Netflix, but it's half as much money.
I haven't heard it advertised, but that doesn't mean we can't get it.
Because they've got that.
If you go looking for the low cost watch TV/movies on home, there's beyond the Hulu and Netflix or whatever. There's 30 other companies offering shit down here.
Yeah. Well, this Crave has got that Orphan Black. That's I've watched 2 seasons of it, and it's just an incredible series, eh?
So does Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon has
Was that out of England or who? Where's the basis for the show?
Canada-U.S. joint.
Sort of like what was that? Rapid response show or whatever that was up there.
Yeah. First
Oh.
Responder. Yeah.
Flashpoint.
Flashpoint. Yeah.
Flashpoint. There you go.
Yep.
Same.
Yeah, kind of
same
like that.
concept.
Yep. But it just. Oh, this show was so good. They had one actress played like 20 different characters. She was clones, eh? You had to see it. I mean, you could not believe this was the same person.
Yep.
Yeah, it was just amazing. Yeah, and it was just a really well-written show, eh? Just
Mhm.
kept you on the edge of your seat the whole time you watched it. You didn't know what the hell was going to happen next, and
Mhm.
yeah. So I
There's
can't
a
wait for
show.
it to come back.
There's a show I was watching a while back. It was based on the premise of time travel. The person traveled back from the future, but still had a link back to the future or something. It was sort of weird. No, that wasn't what it was. She went back from the future to the past to the person who created the technology to get back there or whatever. But anyhow,
Yeah.
She's hot.
Or- yeah. What the hell was that show called?
I
Yeah, I
can't
remember
remember
watching
right off the top of my head.
Yeah, she had all this real high-tech shit. That was like this leather suit, bulletproof, and
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, it was
she
pretty
was
cool.
hot.
Yeah, I liked the first season, but the second season started getting really wacky.
And that
Yeah.
always happens with time shows. That happened with not Voyager, Enterprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Scott Bakula when they tried to do the Star Trek thing, Star Trek, and they just It was fine until it got so into this time war thing, and then it got so fucking confusing.
Yep.
It was
Uh-huh.
going back and watching 5 or 6 episodes back. Oh,
I've liked pretty
okay,
much everything
now.
that Scott Bakula did except for his time on Star Trek
Enterprise.
Yeah.
Enterprise. And yet, I liked the first season. I thought it was really this was
Mhm.
gonna be, ignite the whole franchise.
The
Yeah.
first couple of seasons were decent. It's when they got to the time traveling crap that.
Yeah, well, like I say, as soon as they get into the time war, it just gets so frickin' hard to wrap your head
Convoluted.
around.
Yeah.
I just hope they don't take it that way with the movie franchise. I mean, they went back in time the first time, a whole new timeline now. So
Mhm.
Well, it's a whole new timeline now, so is that going to change again? We don't know.
Talking about this isn't time travel stuff, but talking about revisiting stuff or whatever. You see that new Jurassic Park that's coming out?
Yeah. That might be interesting.
It looks like it has potential or whatever, but like
Jurassic World, that's the name of it.
Mm-hmm. But like all the new shit that's coming out, they show you all the best action sequences in the commercials, which pisses me off to no end. It's like you spoil the whole show in one blurb. They take all of their high end shit and put it in their commercial. Like, you're assholes.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, anybody watch Z Nation yet?
I have not.
It's on Netflix. It's only 13 episodes. It's sci-fi. Of course, about zombies.
Oh, I've seen it all, yeah.
It's hilarious.
It is. You can't look at it like serious. It is a joke. But it has its moments.
Oh, it's got its moments. I love The Walking Dead. I like Z Nation. I just find it funny for, all the fun they make. Like, the zombie baby.
The zombie baby, that was just too much.
I was laughing my ass off. I seriously
And
was.
everybody's scared to go in the room because the zombie baby's in there.
Yep.
It was like a cat. For some reason, because babies can't normally.
They can crawl.
Not as fast as that one could.
No, exactly. I have no spoilers in case anybody wants to watch it.
Yeah.
But they definitely do follow
I thought we'd come to the determination that fast zombies weren't allowed.
Well, Z Nation sometimes has fast zombies, but they also have radioactive ones. And what other kind did they have? They had some other zombies that were waterlogged zombies, water zombies, and
floaters.
I don't remember.
floaters.
I don't remember which one I was watching, but I watched one where they weren't just fast zombies; they were like zombies on roids, fast.
Fast.
World War Z.
That could have been it.
Or that one with what's his name? That black guy who pretends he's a white guy who pretends he's a black guy. Will Smith.
Uh,
What was that called? Like, I Am Legend? Oh, gosh. Is he killing himself or what?
yeah, that one was crazy.
Yeah, just a little. They were not only fast, they were smart.
Yeah, I'm gonna call in. I'm gonna call on Island and G-String. Jump in here. Don't talk about it in the external. Jump on in.
G-string? Who's G-string?
Tactical G-String.
6-string.
Oh, 6-string. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine him wearing G-string, dude.
I don't want to even
Remember
think about that. Just stop right there.
Every
with
time
that.
he would cast, he'd be having to tug it back out. It'd be like cast and tug, cast and tug. I mean, you really can't do that. It takes all the fun out of fish.
I'm on. I've got all these fishing pages on my Facebook feed now, and I get to watch other people show me fish that I'm not out catching, and it's driving me nuts. I went out fishing last Saturday, and there were some fish caught, but the fishing was pretty stagnant. We actually got skunked. I found out I did what they call long lining, where you put a rig out way out without putting any weight on it. So I put it out at like 100 feet. I find out when I get back that you had to have it out closer to 150 feet. I'm like, shit, you get it that far out, and other people are running over your gear with their boat and shit, and it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, I read somewhere that some like 15-year-old girl caught the world record rainbow trout in a lake in Nebraska or something like that.
Really? They beat
Yeah.
the record.
How big
from
was it?
I can't remember. This was a few weeks ago. You brought up this fishing. I'm like, they have a picture of it. I mean, this thing is
I
freaking.
could believe a state record. I mean, I've seen some lunkers that they've showed in Canada that are in the 50-pound range for trout.
Oh yeah.
Like I think one of them was like 52 pounds or some shit.
Yeah, we had the record, and it was like, it was a huge fish. It looked like something you'd see in a joke. It was that big, but
Yeah.
yeah,
They're funny because the trout will only get so long, and then they just get
Fat.
huge bellies.
Yeah. Oh, it was like round, almost.
Uh-huh.
This, yeah. And the guy caught it offshore on like a 14-pound rig.
Yeah.
Like 14-pound test line. It was just outrageous.
Oh wait, it was Idaho.
They don't have
Yeah.
lakes in Idaho. All they have is potatoes.
Well, they got plenty of lakes in Idaho. But...
I thought it
Yeah,
was just potato lake.
Idaho angler Larry Warren is receiving praise for catching and releasing a giant rainbow trout earlier this month.
I thought you
But
said
it's
it was.
not a world record.
It weighed 8 pounds more than the current state record.
How much?
28 pounds.
Oh,
That's what he
no, ours was
measured
up
since he
over
released
50.
it.
I'll bet he caught it out of Lake Ponderay, which is a body of water that borders Washington and Idaho.
Clearwater
It's capable
River.
Oh, it's in the
Oh,
river.
Clearwater? Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That really
Clearwater
surprised me.
River near Orofino.
Or Fino.
Yep, this was January 8th, using 6-pound test line.
Yeah. Well, I've seen, I watched Tread Barta. He was fly fishing for marlin, and they leader touched a marlin on 4-pound test. You just got to play him really carefully.
I would think.
But,
But it's surprising the size of fish people can bring in. I mean, when I was a kid, my dad would put the heaviest test line he could on all the kids' lines because he knew what we were like, right? Which was just like haul and reel and haul and reel and, take
he's
your
trying to keep
break
you from breaking them off.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not a bad sized fish.
That's a chunky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it when I read the article. I couldn't believe he released it.
Oh.
But that's
Maybe he
cool
can-
that he did. Let somebody else
Uh-huh.
get the joy of catching it as well. It's cool.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, the
Yeah.
one that got here was twice that size.
That almost, I mean, it looks trouty, but it almost seems more like a steelhead that just didn't know to spawn or something. Got
Oh,
some-
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The steelhead are just an ocean run trout. I mean, they are a little bit different genus, but
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I remember as a kid catching a 12-pound rainbow, and I thought that was awesome.
hell, we've been out fishing at Buoy 10 for salmon, and I caught this steelhead that was probably only a little bit more than 3 times bigger than the bait it was trying to eat. I got a 5-inch bait, and he was not even 12 inches long. It's like, what's this little fish going after something that big? But evidently he thought it was dinner.
He was ambitious.
He was a poor guy. He got poked in the eyeball with the hook. It was not a good thing.
Oh, hey, Cello, and says, Alan, I don't have you blocked, so I don't know why you can't jump in here.
I think he's just messing with you.
You must have somebody on the panel blocked.
Who's that?
But they just
Island
throw you in
Z
there,
Survivor.
camera on, no mute or anything. They just throw you to the wolves now.
Ooh.
Yep.
As far as I know, I have
I-
nobody blocked.
I did my first successful daytime hangout the other day.
Oh, awesome.
Sunday.
Cool.
It was pretty interesting. It was definitely confusing.
There's a lot more to being in a hangout when you're running it than just being in it, isn't there?
It's like hard to figure out. All right, I can see now where you're like, well, is this link working? Is it live for you? I mean, really crazy. But it was fun.
Wonders why I don't do them.
I still don't know if it was successful because Dano sent me like a help me link or something. I don't freaking know.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he sent you nasty emails or something, but well, if he did, just expect that from Dano.
Yeah,
Don't worry, he'll get over it. He
He's
always
just-
does.
practicing.
Oh, ouch.
Can't get my
I
picture.
I wish I had a way to send this picture that I just saw on my phone right online. It's a High Point C9 that was evidently left like in a ocean going boat or something.
Oh, yeah.
The magazines were out of it. They're all but rusted through. It's got white salt pit marks all over it. It's just so gnarled. It's not even fair. Not even funny.
And the guy's asking $300 for it?
Oh no, this is just whoever the main channel is Gun Talk. How not to be a moron too.
Oh, yeah, I can't imagine leaving.
It's evidently hosted by somebody called GT Tactical, and somebody's got some major white noise going on.
Is it me? Let me unplug my thing. Tell me if this changes.
Yeah,
Is that better?
yep.
I took the power cord out of my laptop. Way better now. I'm okay.
Yeah, well, until your laptop goes dead.
No, it's on your end, Bob, I think.
I'm not hearing anything.
Let me
Well,
try
anyway,
something
better,
else.
right? My laptop. This thing friggin' goes for
Yeah, it's
5
on Bob.
hours.
No, it's your end. Never mind, it's your end.
Really? Well, here I'm gonna unmute. Well, now you can't hear it now, right?
Work. Jeez.
Hold on here.
I think it's your end. I can't tell.
I'm gonna mute you and we'll see if it goes away. Bingo, we have a winner.
Yep.
It is you, Marcel.
White noise, huh? Here, let me see if
Shadow.
microphone. Oh, wait
Yeah.
a minute. My microphone might be all fucked up. Hold on. Let's
Yeah.
see.
I've had it happen to me where my headset microphone didn't enable, so then it was going off the laptop, and then it's picking up the laptop phone noise and all that crap. That's a lot better if you are still able to talk.
How's that?
Oh,
Much better.
Yeah.
Night and
You know
day.
what's happening? Like, I think the mic on my headset was activated, and that there's a short in the line. Okay, now tell me if I'm going to plug my computer back in. Tell me if it makes a difference. Oh, it even sounds better to me.
Yeah.
All right, cool beans. All right.
Well,
Well, all right, let's get this chat going. What are we talking about? I visited.
Well, I don't know if you caught it earlier. I got a chance to see and put an offer in on a 1913 Colt Commander with a magnesium frame.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It was roached. It's probably about 40% condition, and I still offered him $400 because it had a lot of history to it, you know.
Would it be just more of a shootable?
It's shootable. It just
Well, that would be a project.
I wouldn't do much to it. Although I would have changed the rear sight, because the rear sight, somebody had used the sight dovetail to put some adjustable sight on it or whatever that just looked atrocious.
Yeah.
But other than changing that, I probably wouldn't do much to it. Just use
Very
it.
cool. Very cool.
So what were you going to say?
No, I went to the Harbor Freight today. First of all, I didn't know they had stores. I just thought it was all mail order.
You never knew that there was a hard.
It's hours
brick
from
and
here,
mortar
an hour
place?
and a half away from here. But I mean, it was pretty cool. I mean, some of the stuff didn't look like that bad of quality.
Yeah. I pick up tools there that are electric or pneumatic that I'm not going to use very often.
Right.
Just because they're inexpensive and they'll usually get me through the couple of projects I want them for.
And
Some of their hammers and pry bars you got to sort of look at it and see, is this going to do what I want or not? Am I going to get hurt when it breaks?
Yeah, like I picked up a set of you know Allen keys that are the T-bar ones, so they're really big with a handle on them.
Right.
It was like $16 for
Right.
for 18 of them. It's like, oh well, even if they do break.
Yeah, go buy
No,
them
I'm going to
somewhere
tell
else.
you a
They'll
little
Yeah.
secret.
pay twice that.
Now I got the coupon for 20% off any purchase,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Yep.
pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't ever buy anything in there unless you've either got A, a coupon, or B, 20% off and a free item coupon as well. You get 20%
Yeah,
off.
so they gave me like a stack of them, but the 20% off one I got to go there, but on friggin' President's Weekend, which I work. But they must have all kinds of coupons out there, huh?
Oh, yeah, if you sign up for their email, you'll get them in your email you can print out.
All right, so that's cool. So I can make a point because I mean they had a compressor in there for $62, and with 20% off, that would make that thing $48. I wouldn't even have to fix my old compressor, and I'd be
There you
so
go.
happy. Plus the thing's tiny, and I could carry it around more. But yeah, there was all kinds of cool stuff in there. I was surprised. It was like grocery shopping. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, they've got most of the time they've got those digital 6-inch calipers. I mean, they're not machinist grade, but for your general hobbyist, fairly nice digital calipers, and I think they cost what on sale, Quirk, maybe $8 or $12.
I think they're
Not
on
very much.
sale. They're $7.99.
Yeah, I think it was $7.99 on sale.
It just pisses me off. Mine is a gun-free zone.
Well,
Do they sell guns at any of them? Because ours don't sell guns.
No, but they've got the stickers up. So.
Oh, that's
at
posted.
Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
Yeah, ours isn't posted. I open
Is
carry.
that a must obey?
Technically, no. But as a point of being a pro-gun guy, every time I get a coupon and I'm on the east side of town, because mine's on the east side of town, it's like a half-hour drive.
Yeah.
I'll go in there and ask to speak to the manager. I go in there, this is why I'm not shopping here. This is why I'm only getting your one free item with no purchase required. I said, I'll go and pay, twice as much for this at Home Depot.
I'm surprised the manager hasn't said just concealed carry and ignore the sign.
Well, I mean, I wonder if those are individually owned, the stores, or it is actual corporate. Because if it's corporate, they probably like, well, really don't really care.
Talking about stores and their gun policies, I'm about ready to push the button with Costco in our area. So a while back, I goaded my wife into letting me open carry into Costco, knowing that they had a anti-gun vent, but it's not posted at all, right?
Yep.
Open carry in there, and she's so nervous that she's setting off everybody's alarm bells about it. But how people you can feel their energy, just how they act and whatever.
Yeah.
So she was like off the wall, fucking nervous or whatever. So then an employee comes up and he's like, "Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to take your gun back out and put it in your car or whatever because you're gonna have the gun in here." And I was like, "Okay, well that's fine, but can I talk to the manager on my way out?" It's like, the manager's not available, right? So on my next visit in, I try and get a hold of the manager, get a memo on our policy on it. I'm like, you don't have a membership policy that says I can't have guns here. You don't have it posted on the door. I'm really to the point now where I'm just going to start open carrying in there until they either put up a sign or something different happens. You know what I'm saying?
Keep making it an issue.
Well, part of the thing that bothers me about it is that one guy got shot coming out of a Walmart because or not Walmart, but a Costco because the employee freaked out about it.
Yeah.
The guy comes out of the store and he doesn't even do anything wrong and gets shot to death. And then the courts don't give the family any money in the wrongful death suit either. I thought that was a bunch of horse shit. But anyhow,
Kind of like the guy getting tackled going into going into Walmart.
Oh, it was messed up,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
That kind of crap just makes me angry.
all I gotta say is that dude's lucky he didn't tackle me.
Yeah.
The second he went for my primary gun, I'd have drawn my secondary and shot his ass. It would have been all over.
Yep. That guy was really just lucky he didn't get killed.
Uh-huh.
He deserves to spend time in jail though for assault.
Criminal stupidity.
Yep.
Yeah,
And-
exactly. I mean, it's it's the irony of it. It's like they just created such a much more dangerous situation than you ever did by
Yeah,
carrying
if you watch
that
the
gun.
video, the gun goes through like 2 or 3 people's hands, and not one of
Each
them
one
is
of those is a
properly
felony.
handling it.
I mean, it's just ironic as hell.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, you're the one.
Yeah, each person that handled a gun is criminal endangerment.
It's like if you pass someone and they get pissed off, well, then the person you pass, they start following you home. They're the ones with road rage, not me. I just passed. Sorry, didn't know you were gonna have a problem with that.
Oh, talking about road rage and that kind of stuff. I didn't bring it up around the time because I was still getting pretty ripped up about it. But anyhow, so I had an on-the-road incident with another driver around Labor Day weekend, as I was wrapping up my Labor Day weekend. And we played car tag for a little bit. And I got done with him. It was about, I mentally broke off from it. Right before he pulls off the highway, he rolls up next to me with his finger pointing at me like a gun. Like he would shoot me if he had the opportunity or whatever. And I'm thinking, you're so fucking stupid. I've got 2 guns on me.
Yeah.
And a third one within arm's reach or whatever, and you're pointing an air gun at me, a finger gun at me,
Yep.
But
Well, I actually did pass a guy last week. It was snowing out, but I got the Volvo, it's all-wheel drive, whatever, good tires. He was going like 28 and a 50, and it was no one coming. So I go to pass him. He starts speeding up. So now I can't get over to the right. So I have to pass the car in front of him, who's also just doing 30. So he has to slow down for that. So my driveway is only like another mile up the street. So then I pull in. He follows me in, comes all the way up into my driveway. So I didn't have a gun on me, but I had the mace. But he was like, "Oh, if I didn't have to go somewhere," I'm like, "Really? Whatever." It just, like I said, I was pissed that I didn't have the gun in the car on me, but thank God I had the mace.
Yeah.
But now I won't not have the gun because of that.
Yeah. When I'm home, I always have my guns. It sucks for me when I travel with my work. I can't have guns. But.
It was funny that I'm going for something, and it's like, oh, all I got's mace. Well, I'm going to get the mace. and I had it in my hand like a gun, and it was like, I got mace, mister. And then in my head, I'm thinking, it's got mace. I go, this is like, so the guy's in my driveway. He followed me home. Obviously, I'm glad I don't have the gun on me, and he's being timid anyway. But if he got out of his car and I had to mace him, it would have been like a joke. Like, sir, you followed him home and he maced you.
Yeah, he was in the wrong here.
He's like, oh, that was so stupid dangerous. I go, oh, this coming from the guy that wouldn't let me go back into the right, and I wasn't even going the speed limit. You were the one that created a dangerous situation there, mister. If you wanted to go fast, whatever. Whatever.
It must just be me, because I just don't let idiots on the road get to me like that.
I physically have a hard time driving slower in good conditions. Like if people are going under the speed limit, it just bugs me. But and again, I don't get road rage. It just bugs me, and I want to get around them.
Yeah, because I've had this happen. I'm going 39 in a 40-mile-an-hour zone. Somebody's like behind me, gets it open spot, gets the little lane, and then passes me and then gets in front of me and slows down. Like, I'm the cause for you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
We're
love
not going fast enough for you. I'm going
the
39
brake standing.
and
Oh,
a
I
35.
hate it.
Yeah.
When people brake stand you, I hate that. It's like, Jesus Christ, you want me to ram your ass?
Didn't you notice a big NRA sticker in my window? It's pretty stupid of you.
Yeah, I'm all torn about what stickers to put on the car and not. The nice thing is there's so many silvery, Volvo cross countries around. It's like being incognito because it's like it's like my car. There's at least 8 more cars identical to mine in this valley. So I like that whole incognito crap.
Well, that's
But
why
yeah,
I actually have an NRA sticker in my window, is I can distinguish my silver Camry from everybody else's.
yeah, I had this really those kind of oval things that people put the letters in. I had one of those. It was kind of twice the size. It was a sticker for an Italian delicatessen over close to where I live, but it was bright orange, so it was kind of hard to not spot my car. So I was like, I got rid of that. I like being incognito.
All right. Night, Luke.
Good night, all. On another hang up.
Yeah.
Hopefully sooner than later.
Good talking to you again.
Take care. Good luck with the new gun.
Yeah, because here I want to go back to Harbor Freight for a second, because if they don't have the student opposite sign, it's awesome. I get in like that weekly value pack coupon thing. You ever get those? They come out like once a month.
From them?
It's just a value pack coupon thing. You get an envelope in the mail. It's a value.
I used to get stuff like that. I don't. It's weird up here. They don't waste it because we don't have the only thing around here. We don't even have a Sam's Club or anything. So it's weird. I mean, it's a small little towns. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, well, that like the weekly flyer, I call it the weekly flyer. They have comes out a couple times a month. Harbor Freight always has ads in those that have a 20% off and like 2 or 3 free.
Yeah, I can see they've loaded up my bag with this stuff. I should have looked at it because I would have went right back in and bought something for like a penny and then got a free magnetic tray. And then
I've done that before. I've walked around for the cheapest thing.
Dude, there's shit in there for 70 cents,
Yeah, I actually got a pair of just those ceramic magnets.
Yeah.
They're
They
like
got some cool
40
stuff.
cents. I used a 20% off coupon on it too.
To me, the quality looks like, well, first of all, between like Home Depot and Lowe's, I think Cobalt is a little better than Husky. Isn't that like Husky is what Home
Husky
Depot uses? Their stuff's pretty average to below average. Cobalt, I've had some good things with them and some kind of average things. I would say this Harbor Freight stuff was like a step above the Cobalt. It seemed to me so
you'll be
far.
surprised. I've had them bite me in the ass a couple times.
Well, a step above that doesn't mean,
Yeah.
I like Craftsman tools are cool because they got a lifetime warranty. But when it comes to their power tools, you got to watch out.
Yeah.
I'll get the entry level jigsaw, and it's like you're almost cranking it yourself.
Yeah, because I did pick up my last battery for a very, very expensive electronic drill I had, an electric drill.
Mm-hmm.
Decided no longer take a charge. I mean, I knew it was not last. So I just got, this money was tight. I just ended up getting a Harbor Freight one. For $20, I got a drill and a flashlight combo.
Yeah.
And then for another, $5, I got another battery.
Well, I'll tell you, this is the irony of this. For about 6 months last year, I every time I was out and about, if I was shopping, I was trying to hunt down just a simple sandblaster I could hook up to my compressor so I could do that to prep it for the painting. And I couldn't find it anywhere. Nobody had anything. And there was only one place that everybody kept telling me to go, and it's a place called Tractor Supply. So I never got around to going, so I finally went this spring, and I found it, and it was like $20 and whatever. And I went into Harbor Freight, and they had like 8 different kinds. They had the blasting boxes. They had this whole pneumatic section, and like with those things you use for your air compressor. The cool thing with that is you don't use them a lot, so they don't have to be super crazy quality.
Yeah.
It just seems cool. Whatever. I want to, like I said, now I'll go in there with a coupon and.
Yeah. Just don't buy any of their batteries. Don't expect any of the flashlights to last you more than a day.
Well, I was thinking, they had a good deal like on those jack stands for when you put your car up.
Yep.
And I do they do have a 3-ton floor jack, and I just broke my last one, and I love having those jacks for working under the car. They're so much better than those fucking car ones that you have to turn 189 times.
Oh yeah, I know.
And then I don't trust it. Then you're under there and the thing's teetering. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, I keep my purchases there pretty small. It's like never go in there spending an arm and a leg.
Yeah, no, I spent $24 and I got a pack of sandpaper with like 10 sheets going up to like 1,500 grit. They go. It's like 220, 500, 1,000. That was cool. It was like $2.99. Then I grabbed a 5-pack of funnels for $2. And then I got that Allen key set. The one thing I did get, which it was ingenious because I didn't have this, is they had for $2. It's a airbrush. It's an air gun cleaning kit. So it's almost like minuscule brushes. They almost look like brass brushes for your gun, but they're tiny for getting in the little pockets on the cleaning my shit. But that's something I never saw anywhere else. I thought it was pretty cool.
Oh, it is, and for me anyway, I tend to. I've tried out a few other tools, just for the hell of it. The wire cutters suck. But
Yeah.
$5 and 20 cents off, or 20% off. I'm like, okay, $4. I'll give this a shot if it lasts me 3 days or 3 months. And now I just use it as kind of like a vice grips for gripping onto stuff and just pulling it apart. Because it will not cut anything. It barely cut wire to start with, but we're kind of like a vice now.
Well, and just stuff that you just don't want to spend a lot of money on. That's something you do, like a dolly. They have a really good deal on dollies. Those are great to have.
Yeah, I got one of their El Cheapo sonic cleaners, ultrasonic cleaners, because I use mine, once a year at most.
So how do we check if Island's blocked? Who in here would have them blocked?
Bob.
Bob?
No.
Well,
blocked.
How do you check this, Cork? Where do we go to check that?
Yeah, he's been in here with me lots of nights, so I haven't got him blocked. It's got to be you, man.
I will show you here. Just give me a second to get the page.
Yeah, how do we checky.
It's easier to show you than try to remember exactly what the steps are. Well, first off, you go to your Google Plus page.
I think the only person I ever blocked was that guy who was trying to sell me a timeshare.
That was Island.
Yeah. And look, now you're getting divorced because you didn't vacation enough. I'm telling you.
No.
All right.
All right, where do I go to Google Plus? Is that little bell? I never go to Google Plus anymore.
It's just a plus your name, like right here. It's plus Quark.
Hold on.
Have you blocked?
I actually
Quark
have to switch accounts, but I'll show you. I think I got more people blocked on my switched account. But
have you blocked Quark yet?
I know I know to be blocked. I just want to check.
you go to you go down to the side to people.
It's taking my laptop a bit to load. Artisan Tony.
You see that people thing there?
It's still not loaded to that yet.
Okay.
Is it notifications? People. People. Click.
Yep. And then you'll have actions, and then it'll be view blocked right down here.
Let's see. People unblocked. The Yankee Marshal. Chaos Clarity. No. Action. Actions. Click. View blocked.
Yep.
Who you've got blocked? You haven't blocked anyone yet. Well, there you go.
So it must be you, Quark.
He said he's going to restart and try again, but that's interesting.
I'm going through that list of Mr. Quarks that you want, which is pretty limited.
All right, so I held an old M&P shield today and an M&P subcompact. I didn't like the feel. And that there was this really nice looking flat dark earth one, and it was sitting next to a black full size one. The black full size one, and this is Cabela's, keep in mind, but the black one was $549. The flat dark earth one was $650, and it was the same gun. And I can't imagine they'd be whatever. It just didn't feel like I remember it feeling. I was like, huh, this doesn't feel very good. I'm looking for that. Now I need to get the gun in between the P238 and the XD. Actually, I don't need anything, so it's good that it didn't feel good. Oh, they were selling ammo cases at Harbor Freight. They were, those plastic ones. But at least they were only like $650.
I never saw them there before.
Well, it actually said ammo can. I was surprised, actually. It's a pretty universal thing. It's those cheap plastic ones they're like the smallest tin ones, about that size. I have a few of them, though. They work pretty well. It's like the ones that Fiocchi sells its 12 gauge in. That exact box. It's, rubber, kind of plastic.
Really?
Yeah, they were under $7 for sure, which is normal. But I'm sick of those narrow, friggin' small metal ones now. I'm gonna go get another one of those bigger, one of the 50 cal ones, I think it is.
Yeah, those 50 cal ones are nice.
I mean, you can only, but if you keep your stuff in boxes, even 223, it's almost hard to get over 500 rounds in there. 9mm, only 500 rounds. It's like, what?
Are you keeping them in the boxes then?
Well, yeah, on one of my Tula ones, I got 4 cans for my 223, and one of them, I've unboxed it, and it's all 55 grain steel case, and I bet there's 1,000 rounds in there, probably 800. But where it's in the box, I only can get like 680 or 700 rounds or something. I don't really know. But yeah, I kind of learned. I like keeping it in the box for a few reasons. Some of it I could take out, like if it's range ammo. But I kind of like it in its box because you kind of know what you got there. Plus, I like taking it out and looking at it. Looks like I got more.
Yeah, because when I always did, I always just took it out of the boxes.
But left it in the tray.
In plastic Ziploc bags.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I buy a lot of those, like those reloader little 50 round things and 100 round things. Those are great. I just put my hollow points in those. Getting low on 380. I didn't realize how low I was. Couple hundred rounds left. That shit's expensive still. Still paying $16 still minimum for 50 rounds, which again, that's no big deal, but
yeah,
nice to see it down around 13 again.
Yeah, well, I just paid $25 for 100 rounds of brass case 9mm, which.
Yeah, that's just okay,
Yeah.
I mean, anything
Oh,
under 13. I mean, $13 or under. I do miss the $11. I used to like getting the for $23 the 100 round white box. It was like $23.
yeah, now that's like 28.
I can't believe that Federal went up so much, and that was cheap. You know what I mean? That used to be less expensive.
Yeah, that's 26. I'm just giving you the prices at Walmart. $26 at Walmart. Walmart. White box is 28. The Brass Max, whatever it is, the
The Tulamax, yeah, I like that.
Tulamax.
That's like 23.
It's 23 bucks plus tax. Yeah, 23 something. So it's
I
like
buy that. It works.
25. Yeah, it's 25 after tax. It's just over 25 bucks. It works. I have no problems with it.
Me either.
I'll take and shoot the cheaper stuff. But I saw this and laughed. I looked at the shelf and I looked all the way at the bottom. I saw something that was priced $497.
What?
It was a ZQI 1200 rounds of 9mm.
Oh my God! What?
$497.
That's
I went. I told the guy that was helping me. You do know, I can buy, 12 packages of this 100 count I just got for $300.
right, and that ZQ
It's
shit
the
is
exact
shit.
same count of cheaper ammo that when you guys sell it is like $8 for 100 rounds. No way am I paying $497. Just for you think that metal can is worth $250?
Yeah, right. They always. I love it when they tease you with that, but it's always like the price of the can is in there. It's like, sell me the ammo for what the ammo would go for with the can for free. Don't make it an extra $12.
No, because you're buying it in bulk. At that point, I consider that the bulk add-on.
Exactly. It's so obnoxious that Federal 9mm when just the 50-round boxes are like the largest boxes ever.
I know. I
Hate them.
love their aluminum case stuff. I mean, I'm falling in love with
Oh,
those
I haven't found the aluminum. They don't sell that here yet.
yeah, they're sold out of my store again. End of last week, they had about 40 boxes on the shelf, and that was gone when I asked the guy because he was working there. I said, "How long did that last?" He said, "Oh, that was gone by the end of the day."
Yeah, people. That seems like they search it out.
It's
It
like
seemed like today I found that there was a lot more. The herders at Cabela's. It was all brass. I got herders 380 for $16, but it's brass, and they had 9mm for. It was still stupid money, but at least they're going in the direction of brass. It's probably under the same contract. Actually, it makes sense because I looked at the bullet and it was all gold, just like the Brass Max. So it's just the same thing. The tool, the same, whatever. That's the deal, just different box.
yep.
I did get this MFS steel case 223, but it was 62 grain and it had soft point. It was only $5.99 for 20.
That's not bad.
It really is. It's very unusual to find the 223 and 62 grain. And then they have the soft point.
Yep.
It was marked down from $9.99. I got 100 rounds of that.
Yeah.
I
All I
opened it-
got is 100 rounds of ammo today. Got so much other stuff I had to buy. I wish I could stock up on ammo.
Well, I just been buying a little bit, and like I said, I regrettably ordered some the other day, but from Palmetto. But God, it's so cheap. The 5.56 90-round boxes on stripper clips are $25.99. So I got 180 rounds for $52 of 5.56 on
Yeah.
stripper clip, brand new. That's incredible. It's 28 cents a round is unbelievable. Even with the shipping. So I kept adding boxes until the shipping would change, and then I'd take a box out. So I wouldn't go above the $12 shipping. Well, they had a Serpa. Yeah, I got a Serpa holster from them. $12.50 for the 2022. It was on sale, and they had a Blackhawk coupon. $12.50 for a brand new Serpa. I'm psyched. Ruh-roh. Cork just exploded.
Oh, did he?
It was weird. It was like a poof, and now he's gone.
Well, I've heard of pork going poof and disappearing before, but that was something different.
Yeah, well.
It was something him and Yankee were doing, but I'm going to that. We're still live.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll come back in. Man, it's so friggin' dry here. I'm all congested.
Really? It's
Yeah.
dry here.
So it's like 0 degrees. It's been 0 for like 4 days. The last few days, it was really, really cold. Below 0 at night again.
I think we're at minus 37 with wind chill.
Ugh.
But it's a
minus 30.
dry
But it's a crisp.
Yeah, it's and you know what? It's funny, but it's true. Just like when people say, "Oh, it's a dry heat," it
really is true.
Yeah,
it does.
Like a dry cold, minus 30 if it's dry is way different than minus 10 when it's wet.
Or if there's a slight breeze, if it's 5 below and there's a mini breeze, that sucks.
Oh yeah, well we get that here all the time. We'll get like.
But if it's still, then you're all right. There he is. See, nobody blocked your ass. He was just saying that, so we had
that's probably why Quark had to leave. He probably had to unblock him because.
Yeah, he was embarrassed.
No, I actually closed the window by mistake.
Oh, I know. It went like poof, and you went away. Like it was like.
Yeah, I was switching tabs, and I was like,
right?
Yeah, but dang, thanks for that link, some guy in Sandy, Steve.
What do we got? Which one?
You put for the Liberal News.
Scott Walker.
Yeah. Holy crap, 46%.
Yeah, so now I got handguns.
I'm uneducated.
Small game here.
I'm uneducated on what's happening here. Give me the 3-minute version of Scott Walker.
I'm reading it right now.
What happened to Scott Walker? Who's he?
Governor of Wisconsin.
What happened to him?
Nothing. There's talk about him running for president.
Oh. Was he the one posing without his shirt on and had a six-pack? And I was like, nah.
Is that a good thing? I don't know anything about him.
Posing without his shirt off? I wouldn't think so.
Not that. I'm talking about Scott Walker for president.
Oh.
Is that what you're saying, Cork? He wants to run for president?
It's been talk about it, but...
hell, Quark's talked about running for president.
Yeah, Walker is pro-firearm.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Pro-hunting.
That's a good thing.
Pro-outdoors.
That's a good thing.
But the main thing is he is pro-capitalism.
That's good
he
for
is anti-union.
That's not a good thing. Good for
yeah, I'm neutral on unions. I'm not educated enough to know if it's a good or bad thing.
Well, I'll tell you this: they're only needed some places, but the places they're not needed are very few and far between.
I'm going to say this, Bob. Unions had their place. Now they cannot. They basically, at least in my state, they held the. Held the government up by gunpoint, basically, for the longest
here it can be detrimental.
Exactly.
But there's so many places that if it wasn't for union, where did rednecks come from? Right, the first people who wanted to have a union, right? They were a bunch of guys, coal miners in the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah, but that was also in a time when they didn't have standards of work and stuff too.
Well, right. and part of the thing is that the unions that we have here now that maybe are in companies that are pretty pro-union. Europe has lots of companies that are unionized and they make lots of money. Mercedes-Benz is one of the, and they have union people sit on the board. However, other countries like Canada is bad for this. We have this antagonistic relationship, like the union versus the management, right? And in Europe they have it different. But yeah, and that becomes, where they're going to argue about, oh, I want an extra, family day or something like that, rather than, I want safety for my workers.
Well, it's like we had that big Demula's supermarket strike here. They were striking for months, and I don't understand how that works or it can happen. Like, yeah, I guess that's the leverage, right? They're walking out on this place, and they can't function.
Mm-hmm.
So that
let me just tell you what was going to happen here in the state. Basically, the teachers union was like, we need more money, or we'll strike. And then, collective bargaining agreement with the government, what basically means if the teachers didn't get what they wanted, they go on strike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They basically were running the government when it came to how much they're going to get paid. And they were also doing a lot of other things, including allowing professors to still earn their salary and not get fired while they're in prison. Not even teaching a class.
But there was other things about class sizes, and that was things that were big sticking points for management.
Yes, I know that, but what they did is they ended collective bargaining.
We can't teach them.
Yeah, right? It ended the collective bargaining. And the teachers' union said it was going to be so hard that a whole bunch of teachers are going to get fired. And nobody will want to come and work. This last school year, there was one teaching position open at the school.
Mm-hmm.
This school got 12,000 applications to be a teacher there.
Well, they must have a good agreement already then.
Good union going on there.
Now, you think about that, 12,000 applications for one job opening.
Yeah, because it's maybe a lot of other teachers in the country.
Well, Wisconsin's got, is one of these places.
But you see, I mean, we've had the same thing here, and all you hear in the news is, oh, the teachers want more vacation, they want more money, they want more of this. But then if you actually hear from the unions are saying, no, we want less class size. We're willing to negotiate. We'll ask for this because we're willing to trade it for this. And I mean, that's how you negotiate, right? As you ask.
You don't do drastic
Bob,
moves.
this wasn't that great of a job. This was just a middle school teaching position.
Well, for some people, I'm sure it's a great thing. I mean, jobs are hard for people, man.
Well, here all the teachers I know here, I guess every spring when school's over, the teachers that have only been there a few years, like I guess every one of them gets pink slipped, and then they don't know until the middle of August if if they're coming back or not.
Yeah, but again, teachers would not lose their jobs based upon performance in the state because the unions won't allow them to be fired. I mean, there are teachers here that wouldn't give a crap. They could.
And we've had teachers here with a union who got fired because they refused to pass students who did not pass their tests. They actually failed students. The guy got fired, even though they had a union. It took the union fighting to get him his job back after 2 years.
Yeah, another thing Scott Walker did on this one, you want to know more about Scott Walker. This isn't all him, but with his help, they actually ended up having a surplus in the budget of almost $1 billion. You know what the
$1 billion?
Almost $1 billion, yeah, 986 or 94.
Boy, that could run your state for like another few years, you'd think.
You know what the Liberals wanted to use that money for?
Bonuses.
Pay the unions, basically. Pay the teachers' unions. They wanted to spend. They actually wanted to spend all that money. What Walker did?
What would that mean if they
handed out to corporations?
What would it mean if they gave that to the unions? What would that do?
Exactly. Pay raises. They want federal government workers, etc., are going to get all these huge raises.
Spend their money.
What you do is you put that money away, and you make it. Jesus, That kind of surplus.
Actually, what happened, Walker and the Republicans, just less than half of that went back to the citizens of the state in tax decreases.
Nice.
They put away a quarter of it in savings, $250 million in savings, and I can't remember what they did with the other quarter.
I like that they put some in savings.
I'd like to know what they did with it.
Yeah, right.
It's $250 million. I'd really like to know what they did with it.
$250 million, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. Well, it's $250 million, man.
Yep.
That's just some of the stuff that he's done.
Yeah.
But this poll is basically saying, they took this poll. He's got 46% of the vote. Ted Cruz got 14%. Rand Paul got 12%. Jeb Bush couldn't even maintain 5%.
So at
And
this
he's probably
point,
the smartest
he's looking very good for this for the GOP. Then, yes.
He hasn't even announced he's running yet.
Oh,
He just announced the budget this year.
oh man.
This is out of 400,000 votes, too. Just, it's not like somebody did 3 votes. This is 400,000
Right.
votes.
This isn't a survey over the phone.
This is how much the Republican Party has changed, right? Because the smartest one out of all the ones that say they're running is probably Jeb Bush. Now, at least he was a smart Bush boy, and not
Only
Bubba.
problem with Jeb is he is a moderate at best. He is not
Yeah,
a
but
conservative.
I mean, you know what? I hate the rabid Republican mindset that everything's good for business. As long as we look after business, everything will be great for the rest of the world. Everything will be fine as long as we give business what they want and what they need. Everything will be good. The worker drones, they'll just do what work they need to do, and they'll get their money and they'll spend what they can at the factory stores. And it's like, oh, that's really hard to take. And part of the hard part to take is that they're the ones who are most likely to defend the rights of firearms owners. So it's fucking annoying.
And one other thing here that he did, he actually brought jobs back into the state. He wasn't number 1 in the Midwest, but he was number 3.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
What'd he bring in for factories though?
He brought in factories. He brought in
Fast food
commercial businesses. There was a poll that Mary Burke was using, but was the creation of government jobs. She was using when she was running against him.
Yeah. Which
she had to actually go and look up, but she was using this poll about we were dead last in creating government jobs.
No, I don't really have a problem with that.
Neither do I.
I like to know that there's enough guys to drive the snow plows and to pick up the garbage.
We don't have any of those problems. Yep.
Yeah, I really don't need like 500 dog catchers. I mean, at one point they were talking about hiring people to come and peek in the windows of people's houses to see if they had cats that weren't licensed.
Are you shitting me?
Nope.
No.
Cats? You don't license cats?
Yep.
Come on.
I'm not
We
sure.
had 3 superintendents for one small school district. Yeah, the school district was it was only 3 different high schools, and you had 3 different superintendents, one for each high school. And then there was another school that had 2 principals and 4 vice principals.
How big are these
One
schools?
school.
How big are these schools? How many students?
That school had 800.
Okay.
That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
No, that's ridiculous. I went to a smaller high school in the country, and we had probably 800 students altogether. We had 1 principal, 1 vice principal. We had 1 school superintendent looked after the whole about 1,000 miles.
Right, the district, yeah?
Yeah, this one 3 superintendents for 1 small school district. But I don't know how many junior highs and middle school, but you don't need 3 superintendents for one small school district.
Yeah, I saw a documentary on where school money went, and it was a situation just like that. And it's like, they're like, well, you can't cut school budget. They're like, they were saying, but you've got 3 superintendents for one school. So it's like, you have to make the hard choice. It's not that hard of a choice.
And it's also...
Did it have Nick Nolte and Ralph Macchio in that documentary you're talking about?
Yeah, man, yeah.
The thing is, you got 3 superintendents that are working like 5-hour weeks.
My Bodyguard.
No, dude, that was...
I know. I'm just saying.
But that was a good one, too. That had Chris Makepeace and Adam Baldwin in it.
Circle gets a square.
Who knows?
Oh,
but, I mean, it's also like these districts that have always had that many superintendents. Well, they had that many from when people used to have 8 or 9 kids, right? And now people have 2 kids, if that.
Yep.
So they have the same amount of families living there, but they have way less kids, So they've got schools that are completely underutilized. Whereas in other areas, they got schools that are completely overutilized. I mean, just...
Well, and sometimes they'll be able to get the new school started, and it's because they don't want to run their school the same way that somebody else is running the other school across town.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which I don't know whether it should or shouldn't be like that. I don't think that's say.
See, even in this, Kananistan, like we have public schools, of course, but in Saskatchewan here we have Catholic schools that are funded as well. Like we fund Catholic schools.
That's
Not
weird.
quite sure why.
Usually parochial schools and/or private schools, they usually have to come up with their own, their own funding.
Anywhere else in Canada, but not where I live right now.
Oh, I bet they fund those over in Quebec too. Actually.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Let me throw a stone over that way.
Yeah, actually, you're probably right. They probably do.
You're gonna hit me if you overshoot them.
Oh, I'm a pretty good shot. Don't worry.
I will say this: there's another school that they're finally doing this. They actually have it's one high school building, but it houses both like the east and west side, or north and south.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got two principals, etc. Except they should also share the same teachers and classes. It's like you don't need 2 principals to do.
Now, is that because they had to shut down one either the east or the west side high?
It's been like that since like the I think 20s.
Is one principal white and the other one black?
No, it was like this way.
Tom Berenger.
One
back in the 40s.
lesbian?
Yeah, it was back in the 40s. Something happened to the other building, so they the other high school, so they just merged them together.
Well, then you need 2 principals because you got 2 high schools merged together, and nobody ever thought to fucking do the paperwork properly.
Well, they have 2 principals. They actually just got rid of one of the principals because it wasn't needed. And they actually, they're talking about just merging that school district instead of being east and west, just be.
Cork, did they do it like Thunderdome, where 2 principals enter and 1 principal leaves?
No, but it was to the point where they have,
And if they did, the principal win?
Like 500 students in this, total class size.
Right, and then there was a steel ring in the middle of the gym, and they put the 2 principals. I want to know, did the lesbian principal win? I thought we were doing Thunderdome.
What was that? What was the guy's name with the helmet on? Super Mighty Max? No, Master Blaster.
Master Blaster.
I
thought it was Super Dave Osborne.
Who runs Bartertown?
Master Blaster.
I was thinking the same thing you were there, Bob.
You've seen Super Dave Osborne?
Yes, I have.
The radiator's damaged at the core.
Bob, I'm a little disappointed going to a topic that you'll enjoy. I've been going back and watching the first season of Star Trek Next Generation.
Yeah?
And that very first episode, boy, was it cheesy.
Oh, yeah.
Which one?
Encounter at Farpoint?
Oh, God, yes. Wasn't that? It's just like they were just so tentative with everything. It was
It had to be, man. What are you talking about?
Like uncomfortable.
Yeah, geeks got uncomfortable. Yeah, sorry guys.
I'm like, it gets better. I mean, but the first few episodes are a little weird. And I do like the show, and I still think it's
I had every episode on VHS tape, man.
So did I.
Yeah, because I worked, and my wife and I liked to watch them together. This is back when we still liked each other, and she would tape it, or no, I'd tape. We'd set the VCR because we were actually young enough to know how to set the clock and everything. So we'd set the VCR, and then after we'd have supper, we'd sit down after supper with a glass of wine. Well, she had a glass of wine out of beer, and we'd watch it and just howl and just like love the show, man. That was the greatest thing I ever watched. Like, had the whole goddamn show on VHS tapes, great big boxes of them, and then of course, they deteriorate.
I'm gonna throw. I have this box of all kinds of great movies and shit that I paid good money for. It's just hard to throw it out, but I'm never ever ever gonna fucking watch it. So
you can't watch it. I actually.
It's like I figure I'm keeping the Star Wars trilogy, then I should just keep all the rest of these things.
Well,
that's my theory.
It's even hard keeping the Star Wars trilogy because
I have that on DVD. But isn't the VHS?
If you got them on DVD, that's fine.
But the VHS has the original one that wasn't mutilated by Lucas.
Depends on which one you got, because they had the original version like you're talking about where it was unfucked with, and then there was one refucking and then another refucking. Right.
They had the 90.
There's been 2 refuckings of the original 3.
Was that 90? Let's see.
The first refucking was like they added in more ships and stuff like that, and then the second refucking was like the fireworks were more.
That was all the same. No, that was all the same. It was you're talking about. I think it was 94, 95.
Yeah, the
when
second.
Lucas redid them and made them the way he liked, and fucking changed the ending of, Return of the Jedi. Made Greedo shoot first. Han Solo stepping on Jabba's tail.
And like when even like they digitized so many other things, like the beast rearing up when they're going into the spaceport on Tatooine.
Yep.
The Jabba scene where Han's talking to Jabba. Like in the space battles, they added way more ships and stuff like that to give scale and size. I mean, like some of it, whatever. But I was at the first one at the movie theater, so you ain't ever gonna take that away from me, Lucas. You son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Exactly, I remember that.
I was 6 years old when I saw Star Wars.
Yeah, I was.
And I saw Star Wars, and I only had my one front tooth, and that's why I talk like that.
My brother took me to go see it, and I had no idea what it was. I had not seen a preview or anything, and he goes, "We're gonna go see Star Wars," and I'm like, "Really? What's that?" So that was awesome.
And your brother rocked your world.
He did rock my world.
Yeah, I remember begging for Christmas for the Star Wars toys that year.
Oh, I got him, boy. And my dad was good at that. He set that shit up.
Christmas came, and I did not get any Star Wars toys because my dad was not willing to buy the box. He had to mail in to get the figures. It wasn't until the next year.
Because it was
I got the Star Wars toys.
It was a promise that you mailed in, and it was a promise that when the figures became available, you would be the first one to get them.
Yep, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be worth money now.
But I remember that, and I was so freaking pissed that I didn't get Star Wars toys at Christmas.
Well, if you remember, like the one combo pack, like again that they didn't even release that year, but it had like it was the cardboard cutout kind of thing.
Yep.
And it had like the 10 or 12 guys that were gonna come out. and like almost like a stand to put them on, because you remember they had the holes in the feet and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
like a display stand for them and everything. And then they went totally. They realized, oh, wait a minute, I am literally standing on a mountain of gold here, and I just need to sell some more of these figures.
Yeah, and then I remember next year coming out, like, the Christmas special, the holiday special came on television. And
Everybody
it's
hates it.
first.
I still like it. I still like it. I watched it the other day around Christmas time. Oh, the other day, last month around Christmas time. I went and found it on YouTube, and I watched it. Yes, it was terrible, but I loved it nonetheless.
I remember as a kid though watching the first section and falling asleep. I actually did not make the whole thing because I couldn't understand what the heck the Wookiees were saying.
You don't speak Wookiee?
No.
Oh.
And I went back as an adult and rewatched it too on YouTube.
So did you get Chris to translate it for you?
Chris is not.
That's Ewoks.
Yeah, Chris is not a Wookiee.
I
Yeah,
know.
but I remember the next Christmas all the Star. I mean, I got the Millennium Falcon and a whole bunch of toys. My dad felt so bad.
I still remember walking into the living room. I think it was like in '78 or whatever. I was like 8, and they had 2 lightsabers on the couch. One, red, one green. One was for my sister. One was for me. They were the old school, No, they were like they were the flashlight with that had the like the matte. It was like a cone, like a traffic cone, but of course, but it wasn't the collapsible one. It was like for 1978. It was fucking cool.
Yes.
And I got all kinds of my parents were always killer at the stocking. Like in my stockings, like even recently, my dad, like I'll have like a SOG multi-tool in there, and then he put all kinds of crazy awesome shit in my stocking.
Yep.
I was a little spoiled for Christmas, that's for sure.
Yeah. The one toy that I always wanted though as a kid was the AT-AT.
Oh yeah, I never got that. I bought that for myself in the mid '90s. I got the ATST, the little one.
No,
I got the ATST when Return of the Jedi came out. I got that as a gift. But I never got the AT-AT. My friend
that was
got
the
it.
best. So big.
Yeah, I got the Snow Speeder, the Hoth base. I didn't get the.
I got
for the AT-AT.
I had that quarter section of the Death Star that had the pit with the
compactor, the crusher.
Yeah, you had the compactor, and it had foam in there, and they had the green monster or whatever in there, and they had the bridge, the drawbridge.
Yeah.
Yep.
The actual laser thing.
Yeah, I remember this one. My grandfather. So I could took me to the toy store and I could pick out anything I wanted, and that's what I picked out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, that was just awesome.
That's good.
Hey, hello. Check out either one of these and see if those were see if either one of those were the one.
Okay, hold.
I think it's the first one.
It had, without seeing it, had a red handle, if I'm not mistaken. Does this have a red one?
No.
Oh no, this dude. Yeah, no. Oh, I remember the blow up.
Right. And you could actually get out of somebody with one of those, and you weren't gonna hurt them.
Let me look at the first post you did, because the second one's not looking like anything like it. I mean, it looked like the green one there. Hold on.
And then I'm gonna post the one that came out for Jedi, where it was like
Put it
full
this
on.
way. This one was, this could have been a knockoff one for all I know, because
Right.
I don't remember the handle itself having much of any intricacy at all to it, and it definitely was not collapsible. These things
Yeah,
were
I
like.
think yours was a Jedi lightsaber. That's one I remember.
The last one I just put in is the Jedi one, where it's in the Jedi stand and it's got the 3 different colors or whatever.
All right,
Yep.
let me check it out here. Hold on. Because I can't, too damn young. And I don't remember which one it was for.
Oh shit! It was a while ago. I mean, I'm gonna give you that. So don't worry, it's okay.
I mean, I go with the years. In '78, I was 8. '79, I was 9. You know what? This looks like it.
The last one.
This looks. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Like I said, you see it because it's not collapsible. Definitely plastic tube. Not too fancy handle.
Well,
I'd
it
say
had the
that's
hole.
probably it.
Remember, it had the hole in the back end, so when you waved it around, it'd go woo, woo,
I,
woo.
Oh, do you remember the,
I
you know,
don't remember that.
Oh, come on now.
speaking of
I
lightsabers,
have
remember
the
like
new one, the real one now.
yeah, Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi, I can't remember if Luke had it or not. I think he did too, but where the lightsaber slid out of the arm.
Yeah, I had those action figures. I just sold them recently.
You know that Darth Vader one is like, if you still had a card, is like a few $1,000s.
Yeah, the little tip would come off, but I did have all those. I still
I
actually,
actually
I found
had
a
those
bunch of
too, and I guess they did not make too many of those Darth Vader ones because I had Darth Vader, and I remember losing the lightsaber pretty quick.
I just sold that Jawa, but I didn't have the cape. I did have the rare one, but I didn't have the cape for it. So someone still paid me $20 for it, like 4 months ago.
Nice.
Yeah, and I do have somewhere, and I gotta find it. I have a little tin with all of the original weapons and like duplicates. I know I have probably about 60, so I know I could sell that for a couple $100. I think it's got I think I got it. I got the Jawa blaster in there. I got all kinds of stuff. Definitely stuff going back to the original.
Yeah, I found just like a handful of just like little, Star Wars weapons, but I couldn't tell you what they went to. My dad got rid of most of my toys, so.
Here you go, Jello. Check that link out.
My dad's a hoarder, just like me.
Yeah, I remember when I was like 14 or so.
Yeah,
I didn't play with my
one.
Star Wars toys when I was 14, okay? But my father gave away a big, huge crap load of my stuff, including the Millennium Falcon.
See, the stupid thing with their lightsaber it looks like a lady finger, firecracker. It has that stupid thin thing in the front, and then the long part.
Well, you notice that was so like you didn't poke yourself in the eye or whatever.
Yeah, well, it was supposed to, so you didn't like see it when it was up. I never bought or had or owned that stupid inflatable one though. That's just fucking.
Oh man, I think.
Oh, I had the Chewy 12-inch. Wasn't the 12-inch. I think I had the 36-inch Chewbacca doll.
I had the 12.
I loved that thing.
Darth Vader and Chewbacca in the 12-inchers.
I had Boba Fett in the 12-inch.
And they were hard plastic, yeah? So, like, if you hit somebody with that shit, it was like a plastic club.
Yeah, I had Boba Fett and Chewbacca.
I used to think I was a real fucking nerd. Now I realize I'm not.
Well,
yeah. No, you are, Bob.
Speaking of...
No, I'm not. No. You guys are
speaking of
nerds.
used to...
Oh, yeah, that's nerds.
Yeah, but you just snorted, Bob.
I don't care.
I still got the 12-inch right here.
That's
but that's the only 12-inch you've got. It's the only one you've ever
buddy.
had.
Girls love me. I say, hey, ladies, today's the day you're doing anal, baby.
When was that? Is that one of the 70s or 80s?
No, this one's like the...
Clone Wars.
That's like
The
a Clone Wars.
The 20s. It had the Kung Fu grip, though. You can point.
Oh, yeah, never mind. That's actually, I thought you were the original Stormtrooper. That's actually a Clone Trooper.
Yeah, it's a clone trooper. Where's the gun? There's the gun.
That shit's expensive.
And I put a little leather backpack on him. He's got a little prepper.
He's a little three-day bug out
He's got a little prepper. Yeah, let's put this gun in his hand. I tried to put the SIG that G-Web sent me. I had the SIG keychain with the Phobos holster. But it's
that
just
would have been hilarious.
Little too big. Here we go. Oh, hey, what's that? Hey, what's that? I got a little guy, too. This isn't even a person. This isn't even a thing in the movie. It was just a cool little die-cast thing. I don't remember
Actually,
seeing
no,
that.
it's actually in the cartoon Clone Wars.
Yeah. Look, it's got the screws in there. This thing is
Yeah.
awesome.
I don't buy toys like that except for Lego, so I'm glad somebody else is admitting to liking.
Oh, I fucking love toys.
Yeah, I'm just like really disappointed. There's only like 2 of the new series of Star Wars Legos that I want. Kind
I
of.
love this
What
shit.
did I walk into?
Crazy ass shit, Chris.
Yes, they got like the TIE Advanced prototype, which is a TIE fighter basically. It's like $40, but it's like 350 some pieces on it.
Oh, no, this is what I put in his hand. There you go. I just found it. Ready? I don't think you boys have seen this ever. Ready? Oh, come on.
Ready? Somebody's got a little erectile dysfunction.
Go for it, dude. It's an Inox. This thing's worth some good money if I can get it to work. There we go. My brother got this in Italy in the late 70s.
That's cool.
You know, as ridiculous as it sounds, that would be illegal in the state
I know.
of Hawaii.
So let's
That would
see.
be illegal in the state of Wisconsin.
There we go.
It's like, I'm gonna cut a motherfucker.
You know what's even cooler? Wait for it. Oh, wait a minute, I got another one right here. This one's rusted, though. I gotta sell these. I know I can get $100 for the pair, I think. Then I buy a real knife.
That's insane, but go for it.
Real Inox ones, whatever. Just talk to Huck. Tape.
I was gonna say, what do you got over that thing these days?
Dude, fucking tape, man. Shit, they be looking
You and Bob
right
need
at
to
you.
just put a screen cap up or something, because it literally looks like you got your thumb over the camera lens. Oh, we hope it's your thumb.
Well, how's this look?
Who knew your balls would let that much light through? It's
I'm
weird.
teabagging I'm teabagging you guys through the.
We have no,
That does
Yeah,
look
Cello, I just put those in. Those are the 2 I kind of want, but I won't go.
You know, I know I loved the Lego things, but not now as much. I just loved Legos. Period.
No, I don't know. I should go find a chat where somebody's talking about guy shit.
We are.
Well, bring something up
Geek
there.
Shit. That's guys and
Guy.
geeks are not actually
Hey,
good
guy.
Geek guy.
You don't like Star Wars, Bob?
yeah,
No,
you're,
I
you're,
don't. I
you're
like
making
Star Wars
Bob question his
better.
sexuality.
Friend.
Star Wars is like all fantasy. It's not.
I'm not your
real,
friend,
like,
guy.
Yeah,
All
it's
right,
space
so
fantasy. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong
what
with
else
it.
is there then?
Yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna have
I'm
space
not your
fantasy,
buddy,
like,
friend.
base it on fact, base it on some kind of
God, Bob.
science.
Hey,
Like what?
Star Trek
2000 and,
makes good toys.
what am I gonna have? A
Hey, Bob.
HAL 2000 action figure from
Hey, Bob.
2001:
Bob, why
A
don't you
Space
go?
Odyssey?
Hey, Bob, why don't you go watch some fucking Star Trek Next Generation and report back on what you
Oh yeah,
found?
episode 1.
All right, yeah, that was a bad episode. All right, I'll give you that.
Let's
So
remember
is all
that's what started this conversation. By the
Star
way,
Warriors, Star Wars, whatever. Every episode of that was bad. So I mean, really, the guy was
that's what
doing it. The
started
guy
this
was
One,
wanting to do
two,
his
three
sister.
are horrible.
Ah, man, and then it turned out his dad cut his hand. Oh, it's just ridiculous space opera, man. Like, fuck, you might as well
Bob,
just take any of those
It's been
daytime,
a long time since I
operas?
said this to you, Bob. So
yeah,
I want you to listen
daytime
really,
soap
really
operas,
well.
right? Take any of the daytime soap operas, and you
Is
could
my
make
microphone
Star
working,
Trek
Bob?
out of, or Star Wars out of them. Yeah.
Okay. Are you done, Bob?
He's just ignoring you.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
because
okay, I'm done.
I hadn't said this to you in a long time, Bob, but fuck you. I just wanted you to hear it. That's all.
Well, that's
Don't
all right.
beg on Star Wars, man. That was one of the bright spots in my childhood. So eat a dick and shut the
Wow.
hell up.
Now, Bob, where would you put
All I
Star
can say
Trek?
about that is I'm really sorry for you.
Yeah, where would you put D Space Nine in your list of Star Trek shows?
Low.
Did you like it?
The only episodes I really liked were when they were flying the Defiant.
Well,
I
guess
loved that
what?
spaceship. What?
Did you like Voyager?
I'm not a Trekkie at all.
No. I like Janeway, but only in
I like
some
the new one.
nasty
You
fantasy.
know, both of those are basically, soap
Fantasy?
operas.
Exactly.
No, they're both soap opera shows. Sorry to say it, but they're both soap opera
Written
shows.
by the Harlequin romance writers?
No, they were soap opera-ish, sci-fi shows. So even Star Trek did this.
They were more or less based on science.
It's like
See, this
General
is my big
Even
thing. This
the
is what you're
Next
missing.
Generation, the last few
Missing
seasons were
I'm talking science, not imaginary force. I mean, the whole thing is Star Wars was about this magic that you could.
Hello. It's
Somehow
metachlorides. Those are real. Metachlorides are real.
It's a measurable quantity.
Yeah,
Sure.
Mister.
the Force.
Anyway, so
You
that
guys
was
are
my
familiar?
problem with it. It was like any of the. To me, it was no different than any of the fantasy books or anything that had
So
dragons.
when ET got in the front of the bike and then they started flying through the air, did you get up and go, yeah, right? Was that you?
Yeah, why?
Sounds like it's the
Were
documentary.
you in the theater?
It's not the documentary, Bob. That's literally. I think it's listed under fantasy.
Although, by the way,
Alright,
Bob, when a sun explodes, according to the Next Generation, it throws off big chunks of star rock.
Yeah, I know.
I got a
So
question.
there again, it's
All right,
not
wait.
all.
Chris has a question.
Are Canadians even real, or are they fantasy? That's my question.
There
They're
you go.
fictional. I don't even think
I
they're
don't-
fantasy. I think they're fictional.
I've
It's
never seen a
possible.
real Canadian
I-
in real life.
Yeah. Well, that's 'cause we
Chris,
wouldn't
I
know
would
where
say
you
I
live.
put them in this genre, horror.
You got to remember, most Canadians don't want to go where Krister lives because it's just not pleasant there. I mean,
Wow.
where we're from is pleasant.
You don't like New Zealand, Bob?
Yeah, no, it's what I've heard about New Zealand is it's a little bit boring. Like nothing changes. It's just like one temperature, one.
Bob, you're so wrong about New Zealand.
Really? That's what I've heard. That's my daughter keeps telling me she wants to move there because she says, "Oh, the temperature is always 23 degrees every day, all the time."
This is just Bob talking out of his ass again.
Okay,
Well, no.
then that makes perfect sense. Then
The only upside of New Zealand is they have reasonable gun laws.
the only thing about New Zealand that's nice, Bob, is they won't let you live there.
Well, they would too. You know
Oh,
what?
no.
You're part of the
No.
Commonwealth. Oh yeah, you're part of the Commonwealth. New Zealanders are, and it's just like Australians and Canadians. We're all part of the Commonwealth. You got to accept us.
Well, that law will get repealed
I'd rather
really
move to
soon.
the States because the beer's cheaper, even though it's
There'll be a no Bob law.
there is no Bob laws. I went and checked actually. I checked with your embassy. Really,
Yeah, but
embassy
they're known by your real name, Bob.
Don't tell that to Chris. He'll be lobbying in Washington.
Actually, I warned him about Chris. I told him about this guy I know, and he's like Asian, and he was making all these statements and stuff, and saying how he's going to go keep the whites out and all this, and I said, and he's kind of crazy, like he waves sticks around, and he might be into knives, and they just thanked me and said, yeah, I wouldn't have any trouble coming, and I haven't heard from Chris since then.
Wow, I think I could hear Chris's blood pressure erupting all the way out here somehow. I don't even know how that's possible.
I don't even know where to start.
He's Filipino.
Well, he's Asian.
The rest of Asia doesn't call Filipinos Asian.
Well, they are.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, Chris is Asian, man.
I'm gonna leave this alone.
Right? Drop it and walk away. It's because you know
Actually,
what, Chris?
what?
It's a trap. That's what it is.
I
To
used to
quote that
work. I
part
used
right
to
there.
work.
It's a trap.
I'll just
used to-
I'll just let Bob make himself sound like a racist. It's like,
I wasn't. I wasn't.
Pretty.
I wasn't. I was saying he's Asian.
it's like yeah, Canadians are for Canadians. That's what I heard you say.
Oh, there's lots of Asian Canadians.
There are no Asians.
Yes, there are. Every time I get into
Asians
a
are
cab,
very
it's an Asian
intelligent
Canadian
people.
driving.
No intelligent race of people would want to live in Canada.
Oh, it's not that. It's just if their countries are so crappy, they got to come move somewhere. It's like, oh, I guess we go where it's frozen.
Well,
But
I tried to
no one will
use
shoot us?
Bob reasoning against Bob, but it didn't work at all. So I'm just
It,
gonna.
it bounced and slid
I-
right off.
Didn't even,
That's
I
not
tried,
his kryptonite.
yeah, well, I'll never do that again because I just made myself feel really stupid by talking like that.
So anyway,
On that note,
on that note, I used to work with a guy from New Zealand.
Hmm.
Yeah, he worked in our shipping department.
I know
short
people
guy.
from New Zealand.
No,
did
he's
you call
from-
him Asian?
no, he was like spoke reasonably good English.
Swervin' Mervin, we call him. He's a total womanizer, and he's a ski bum. Still,
That's
he's
right.
like
Pretty good English?
65. No, it's really hard to understand him. He's like, Rosa has all cello. It's
Why do you sound Irish?
My
might have
maybe
Irish in him.
Actually, that wasn't too bad, Cello. Just so you know.
It's that's my recollection. It sounded like him. How's it going, Charles? Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
That's about it.
you can't laugh at yourself as you
I
do.
can't. I know.
It's really hard.
I don't know anything. What's this next picture we're looking at? Is it more Star Wars stuff? Oh yeah, it is.
Oh, for fuck's
Oh,
sake.
those two I put in there? Yeah, those are the two Legos I'm using.
You know what I can't find, and I know it's around here somewhere. My father,
Ammo?
I really enjoyed sharks growing up too. My father got it's a sterling silver great white shark head. All it is the head, though, just like in the movie with the teeth open, and it's 3D like. I can't find it for the life of me. I know I got that fucker around here.
Yeah, for the longest time I was into sharks. Then I saw Jaws.
Dude, that
As
I
a
am
kid.
ruined for life. I'm telling you, I'm scarred for life.
Nah.
I mean, I'm a certified diver, but I am still scarred. I check out swimming pools, dude. It might be more like
I'm not the only one.
Friday the 13th or something. I'm serious, dude. I am not like swimming pools. Hell, when I take a crap. I go when I'm going down. I grab the seat and lift it up, make sure there ain't a spider under there.
I thought you were gonna say shark.
anything with water. I don't like
Land
that.
shark. Land shark.
But yeah, I'm serious about the pool thing.
We have a decent-sized aquarium out here, and it has a shark tank, and that's one of the dives that you can do, is dive the shark tank. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But they don't have anything that's.
What?
They don't have like tiger sharks in there, man-eating sharks.
Well, they have like those
They
raggly
most
tooth.
certainly
yeah.
do,
They have
motherfucker.
those
They do?
raggly tooth.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, raggly toothed sand sharks, like from the Carolinas. Those things are nasty looking, but they're fairly docile. But they get big and they're scary.
Sharks get a bad rap.
I'm with you
Yeah,
on
and-
that. They're
They're-
a
they're-
very,
I
very
wouldn't-
necessary part of
They're
the
they're way more docile than people give them credit for. People act like they like as soon as they see a person walk by,
They
they're
act
just
like
out of the
guns.
yeah.
I think it's like a gun. Serious, yeah.
Yeah, it's fear, and it's unfortunate too because now they're going extinct in certain places because people don't give a flying fuck about them.
Well, how many
Oh, I do
species
also.
you think are already been extinct because of the They just kill them.
Yep.
Well, shark fin soup. That's why. They just
That's
take
one
the
of the
fin and
That's why.
yeah. But this is a true fact. They've actually caught bull sharks up in Illinois, in the Mississippi.
Well, now it turns out that off the coast of Massachusetts here is like the Great White Sanctuary in the middle of summer, and they're finally now realizing that there's hundreds of them, and then they go down to the Carolinas in late September and they breed. But there are so many sharks off the coast of Massachusetts, boy. Ooh.
Man, see,
Who-
that's
who'd
the
have
thing.
thought?
Well, here's the deal with that. the stuff that I've been reading, I've known that for since like the early '80s, mid
But dude,
'80s.
I've lived
But
here
they
since
don't.
1972 and
Well,
never heard anything about it.
that's what I'm going to get to. Is they don't put that out, or they didn't at that time, because they knew how it would affect their tourism, and so
Yep.
many of those towns that are seaside towns there, they make all their money for the
Oh
year
yeah,
in
it's
the
a
summer.
3 month
All of their
season.
money. Yep.
And that's like Amityville Island,
Yep.
was kind of what gave Martha's Vineyard. People get all. It was one of the other islands here, but yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
yeah, the great white gets a lot of bad press. It's actually the bull shark that
yeah. And the
causes the
tiger shark is
most.
bad. The tiger shark's a little worse, in my opinion.
No,
No,
bull
it's
sharks
actually
are
the
more
bull
aggressive.
Oh yeah,
sharks are the worst.
you're right. The Zambezi,
Yeah.
which
And
is also known as the bull shark.
their kidneys operate differently, and they can go up freshwater.
Yeah, that's why bull
Yeah, that's
sharks.
fucking wild.
Yeah,
Hell
that's
yeah, they
what
had
they.
those kill in New Jersey in the 1950s. They had that rogue bull shark, I think it was, that killed like 13 people up the river
Was
in New
it
Jersey.
was it the 50s? I thought it was like the 30s or something like that.
I think it was the mid like 56. It may have. I think.
Because I remember people were going out into these, little estuary, these creeks, basically, because not quite big enough to be rivers, and dynamiting, trying to, catch the
Yeah.
shark.
And then the one rescuer going after to save the boy, he got killed.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And they actually did a course. They were doing this down in Brazil, where they have like a processing plant for like meat, and on the waste just went right out into the ocean.
Oh, so
And it
yeah,
was just
just
like, like a quarter mile from a public beach.
yeah, I saw that one. That was crazy. They were wondering why the attacks were happening in this area. Is because the meat plant or whatever they were. Yeah, they were putting crazy amounts of waste in that area, and they just got used to it.
Yeah, meat, whether it be fish or whatever. Yeah, it was just. No,
Making
thank
sugar
you.
cookies.
Yeah, that bull shark in the Mississippi, all the way up in Illinois. You think about it. That's halfway up the Mississippi River with a bull shark, and what it is that the females go up there and then lay their eggs in estuaries.
They don't lay eggs.
Or give birth. Yeah, excuse me, they give birth. Sorry, yeah, the bull sharks give birth. And then that's where the sharks would, the young sharks would have a better chance of surviving. So that's why they do it. That's nature.
But bull sharks and mako sharks will they're ornery enough that they will actually jump into your boat on purpose.
Yeah, we got a lot of mako in this area too. Fast little bastards.
Very one of the fastest.
Yeah, and there's a lot of blue dogs. The blue sharks, the blue dogs they call them. There's lots
Was that
of
the
those.
USS Missouri or no Indianapolis? Wasn't it the USS Indianapolis during World
Yeah,
War
the
II?
Indianapolis where they 137 people or something crazy like that.
Yeah, that was all Makos.
Yeah, my
Crazy.
grandpa bobbed around the South Pacific after the Battle of I want to say it was Leyte Gulf, but I'm not positive on that. But he watched like two of his really good buddies, one of which was injured from the kamikaze hitting the destroyer that it was on. Two of his buddies got pulled under by sharks.
Yeah, that's like the two things that I wouldn't. I see. I don't want the fear of drowning and like stabbing, and so by getting attacked by a great white is like both.
Or any
Although I know you don't feel. Ooh,
I don't know. I don't have any like ill feelings towards wild animals because they're just doing what they're made to do, and it's the way
Yeah.
we interact with them is what makes things go haywire.
Yep.
I have like I love even like I had to kill. I try to even when I see a rattlesnake if I'm hiking out in the Oregon desert I just avoid it. I don't try to shoot it unless I have to. And I killed a copperhead once in Georgia. I think it was a copperhead. Maybe it was a cottonmouth. Excuse me.
Cottonmouth. Yep.
Cottonmouth. And I felt bad. I actually kind of felt bad because it startled me, and I fucking lopped its fucking head right off. But like if I didn't get startled, I probably wouldn't have killed it. And I just didn't feel good about it because it was kind of fucking shitty.
If you can avoid killing a wild creature, then avoid it.
And I'll don't get me wrong. If there's a pest, I'll be the first out there like hunting coyote with my friends or whatever. But
Boar, wild pig.
wild pigs. There's a difference between wild pigs and like something that is just that's its nature, you know.
Yeah, I don't like snakes. I don't like being around snakes, but I don't kill them. If there's one out in the yard, I've had this happen cut in the grass out in the yard. Some people making a point to go and run it over with a lawnmower. Me, I'm like, I'll take a break for a while and let it scamper off.
Unless you're like in Florida and you have like a python problem because people let them loose, like, and now they're everywhere.
Oh yeah, that's an invasive species. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
different with invasive species.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like the little get the garter snakes up here. They're pretty popular. And
I'm not looking at the screen. Did we scare away Bob or something?
yeah, we scared away Bob. That was my goal, talking about Star Wars.
Us New Zealanders are worst enemy of Canadians.
I
I don't know if you know this, but Canadians are an invasive species in New Zealand. So
They must be eradicated.
they must be.
Yeah, but hey, I'm gonna scare Cello. I'm gonna give him some nightmares here. You think sharks are bad? Sharks will kill you pretty dang fast. Don't get taken by a crocodile, because they will just grab onto you and then drown you.
Oh yeah, they not a clean kill unless it gets you like right in the head or neck. But usually they drown their prey.
Yeah, they grab you. They grab you by the leg and
You
Cello,
think
you there?
Don't get in between me and my plate of food, and I ain't even ever been to
What
prison.
happened?
I'll tell you what, that's a good way to get fucking
I
hurt.
made some sugar cookies. What's up?
There you go.
All right, now sharks aren't bad. Normally sharks do a pretty quick kill.
They do the exploratory bite, and then they come back.
It worries me the way we treat our oceans, because you can't deny that like people treat the oceans like shit.
Oh
like,
my god!
You got like Japanese like whaling ships that are like saying that they're they're out there like research, but when they're selling everything they kill on the open market, and you got people dumping like literally like there's like you ever see those old photos of like New York City dumping their old subway cars in the fucking ocean?
And the sewers used to run right into the oceans.
But they literally there's a photo out there of a huge seagoing barge, and they're just pushing subway cars into the ocean.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Well, I just want to finish this real quick before it gets too far along. This is for Cello. Now, crocodiles, on the other hand, they grab onto you, and then they drown you. They don't give you a quick kill. So, there you go. Have a nice nightmare about crocodiles.
Hey, Chris,
Well, I probably wouldn't be around crocodiles, but I could be around sharks.
Good day, mate. That's not a knife, crikey. Anyway, those what they're doing with the subway cars is actually a really, really good thing. Is because they're cutting holes in them and they're making artificial reefs, which actually.
Yeah, it wasn't quite the same when we were pushing Hueys off the aircraft carrier in Vietnam.
I thought they were just getting rid of them because they couldn't use them.
No, actually,
but won't they deteriorate with time? They'll just like melt away in the seawater.
What happens though is
the reef will take its place.
Yeah, the coral actually gets a chance to grow over it and stuff like that, and then once it grows to itself, then it no longer matters what the other part. But the fish will live in there, and and that's the thing. You're talking about the ocean being so important. Well, the reef is one of the most important ecosystems in the ocean, and people
provide the majority of the plankton.
I actually didn't know that that's what they're doing, and I know I've seen them sink like ships to do that, and that I get that. But with New York City's like history of like
being douchebags. No, yeah,
just dumping shit in the ocean. Like you remember that big scandal about them their recycling, that they were just taking the recycling out and dumping it in the ocean.
Basically on the barge and just shoveling it off using a front end loader or whatever. Yes, I have seen that. But I saw a Facebook post on that one we were talking about with the subway stuff.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
I almost got into one of the people on there because they weren't kind of like saying what you're saying, but they were fully on the Jesus Christ, fucking littering this, littering that, da 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 da. But it was like on an Ocean Defender page, So like everybody just jumped in his shit. Like, bro, are you just a fucking idiot? And I'm not saying you. I'm saying this
I
guy.
know, but I guess I didn't. I should have known. I did my research. I just figured that they were doing the same thing they've done many times before.
Forever they've been dumping garbage into the water out there. But no,
Actually,
that's one of the few things.
I didn't even know if it was off New York coast. I just knew that it was a New York City subway car, so it could have been anywhere. You know, I don't know. Or I should have. I guess I should have done more research before I opened my mouth.
Oh, don't worry about a thing like that.
I pulled
But
the
yeah,
bomb. I'm sorry, guys. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
no, you didn't.
No problem.
You certainly didn't.
Will you ever
This
forgive
isn't
me?
like this isn't like World War II where they just push the planes off the side of the aircraft carriers.
Well, they had to, yeah. But that was a totally different reason. They didn't have a choice.
I mean, this wasn't like World War II where the Canadians saved our asses. Speaking of Bob,
yeah. Canadians won World War II. They didn't need our help.
We pushed the planes off the side of the carrier decks because because other carriers got sunk and they didn't have enough room, so they had to land the pilots, otherwise the pilots would die. And so they would land them and push the planes off the side because they didn't have any more room to park the planes. So that's
Well, no, this is happening even at the end of World War II, where they had that problem.
Yeah, it was due to basically space and trying to save dudes' lives.
Yeah, but this is after the war they were doing it too because it was more cost effective to push them off the side than to take them back.
Oh yeah, well that's a whole different. Yeah, I guess that's a whole different story.
Yeah, they did the same thing in Vietnam with helicopters, etc.
now that we've finally gotten it back to weapons of death and destruction and anything like that, Chris, have you gotten ammo for those rifles or any more in your budget for your World War II rifles?
I'm waiting for. There's another auction coming up in waiting to see how that plays out. I just been doing research. I found out a history on one of my rifles, which is pretty cool because I've never been able to track down where it came from. But this one I was able to track down who had it, not what person had it, but what unit, what time period, basically where it was, that's awesome. But I don't have anything going on. I do have ammo for most of them. Ammo's easy to get.
Yeah, I missed
you don't have any
which rifle?
So I don't have any what?
I was gonna say weird calibers.
Yeah, I got a bunch of weird calibers now. It's sweet. I got Swedish. There's a 6.5 Swiss and whatever the fucking Swedish caliber is. I haven't bought any Swedish ammo for my Mauser yet, but I will.
Okay.
No, which rifle were you able to find that information about?
My Swedish Mauser.
Oh, okay.
It was part of the 9th Infantry, Swedish Royal 9th Infantry, which was a Skarborg regiment, which lasted from 1624 to 1942.
Wow.
Yeah, no shit. I was just and then
They had a good union.
they were disbanded, and they weren't disbanded, but they were switched to an armor unit in 1942. So my rifle's from pre.
Uh-oh.
Not that not super exciting, but still interesting.
Yeah,
No,
that's
it's
cool.
awesome to have the story for sure, man.
Go for gun.
There's a bunch of random shit. I'm trying to find the right bayonet for my 1903, which is going to cost me way too much money. I'm trying to find the right bayonet for that Mauser. Trying to find a bayonet for my M39, which is going to probably be the most expensive bayonet I'm ever going to buy, because they go for hundreds of dollars.
I was gonna say all of those are over $100, aren't they?
Yeah, the Swedish will probably be around 100. The 1903, I don't even know. I haven't even decided which 1903 bayonet I'm gonna get. I might just get one of the cut down bayonets because they're cheap and it's more correct.
Fucking lighter.
Not
When
that
you have a dead lighter, but you don't throw it out, and then you keep picking it up. Fucking
Because
thing.
it's always got one more in it, just not
It
always.
did. You know, I got one earlier on it, and this thing's been dead for a week, but it did flame up. Gotta get that last light in. Did you ever see that video, that thing on that video I put in there? Bloop.
What video?
The large, that they recorded the sound underwater, and they predict that it could be from the largest living thing on the planet. I don't know if
What?
it's all bullshit or not, but I kind of think it's interesting. I put the YouTube video in the internal.
That's where my bloop bloop comes from.
It's called the bloop. They call it the bloop.
How can they tell how large it is if they haven't seen it? How does that work?
Because they can tell with science. This will make Bob happy.
Think about like
They use science to determine this, because the tone of it is. They predicted that they recorded it from like 50,000 miles or whatever, like 5,000 miles away, and I don't know. It's insane the way they calculated it.
Chris, have you ever been fishing out on the ocean?
Yeah.
Or in a lake kind of a thing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you know on the boat how they have the fish finder, the depth recorder, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, it's not like it's sonar, but it almost is or whatever. It's kind of almost the same way that they did it. So it's the echo that came back that's how they're able to tell how fucking monstrous this thing could be.
Wow.
But what they don't get is it could also have been a tightly packed school of fish and things like that too.
But it couldn't be like some kind
But
of.
it was huge.
It couldn't be like air escaping from some cavern or something, or.
They ruled all that shit out, man. Believe me.
I was gonna say not usually the air. That's like the swamp gas theory for some things.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? So like sometimes that is the answer in this particular case. Now here's the other thing that they didn't say is it could have been like a super sub or something like that too, I believe.
Right.
Oh. The Russians fucking.
Well, the Chinese have that push thing coming. The Chinese now have that. It's more silent than the nuclear subs.
And they just they took it all off their social media or whatever, that they just launched another super carrier, and they took all of the references down.
We're downsizing, and they're stockpiling.
Telling you, all I learned some Mandarin,
Wait, hang on. Their carriers, you can't compare their carriers to like our Nimitz class carriers. They're like, their first one was like an old.
But how many do we? They might have 1 million of them.
I was saying, the new one that they just came out. I'm gonna look for a picture.
I read that too.
They did that dead to rights copy of our F-35.
Yeah, but like their new carrier is like, it's a light carrier. It's got a ramp on the front of it. It's like
tiny. It's tiny.
I'm just saying, I don't underestimate Russia or China. They're both extremely capable of.
Don't underestimate them. But also, you got to realize we won the Cold War not because we had more. We won the Cold War because we were smarter about how we went about it, and that's the thing. Like the F-35, I think, is the worst thing, the stupidest thing I've ever. That is an example of how we've totally shit the bed. But as far
none
as
of that.
like,
The conventional war stuff, not to butt in, isn't as scary as someday some idiot's gonna fucking hit the button. You've seen how close we've come, that people don't realize, like how many times we've come within a minute of total annihilation.
Yeah, the Cuban Missile Crisis.
There was all kinds of things going on. It's happened several times, especially with the Russians, because their systems were so faulty. They would always get these false readings.
Yeah, their early detection systems.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the stuff that's scary, man. I mean.
And that's the thing. Our Nimitz class carrier will be dominant for. It's not. You can come out with the latest greatest carrier. That's awesome, but it's not the carrier that wins the fight. It's the jets coming off of it that wins the fight. The F-18s and whatever else comes off the deck. The carrier is just a vessel to get those to where they need to be.
So
we really don't know what China has though. That's the
I
problem.
would be more worried about our aging infrastructure with
Oh, bridges
our
and shit.
missile defense system and stuff like that.
Just the roads in the United States and
Well,
bridges are the problem. Like
I,
literally the infrastructure.
I didn't mean yeah, I meant
That
like
shit's crazy.
I meant military infrastructure. Like we've neglected our missile systems for like I don't God for since the Cold War ended.
Yeah, no, I know. That's a bad thing.
And it's
We
looked at
gotta
as
get
like
that
in the
FBI.
in the military, it's looked at as like the dead end job. Like it's the glue factory of military like positioning. When you get
Said
sent
they're
to
downsizing our subs from 60 down to 50. I don't know. Obama said he wanted to cut the fleet again.
Obama's a genius. Haven't you noticed?
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, start building
Star
fallout
Wars.
shelter.
Now we're back to the Star Wars thing again.
I don't
Who
know.
knows what's up there, man? Reagan, man, he threw some shit out there.
Ronnie Reagan.
Kills me about that Kennedy speech. Every time I hear it, we're gonna go to the moon and we're gonna do the other things too. That's what he says, and the other things. And I just think it's funny that it's such a vague statement.
And he should have said, and we're wicked cool.
We're gonna go to the moon and the other things. We're gonna get
And
that joint done.
It'd be wicked.
Wicked.
Because he was a Cape Cod, wasn't he?
Oh yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna do research on because now I have two of these 1903s. I'm gonna do some research into which one I'm gonna get rid of and try to trade one off for a grand. That's
Did
my
you
next
say
big purchase.
Garand or Grand?
Grand.
Okay, that's what I thought you were saying. I was like, because like he's either talking about getting $1,000 or he's talking about getting the other rifle.
I can get $1,000 for it easy, but I'm trying to like trade it so I can get a little better deal. There's this grand collector in my state that my gunsmith knows that like he's a lawyer, and he's got like my gunsmith was like he's got every variant of every grand. He's got like I forgot how many grands he said, but it was in like he's got a lot of rifles. So like that's I want to like hook up with somebody like that so I can learn a little bit more so I don't go into something blind and get screwed because
right.
And I've noticed like there's a lot of them, like they can be really hodgepodge and not be they can be totally worthless or they can be. It's not like buying a Nagant where you can just kind of figure it out.
Well, and just the price difference. You can overpay for a grand pretty.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to say easily, but
Couldn't you get them for like $800 in the civilian marksman program?
Yeah, but that'd be. I want to do that too, because I want to have a shooter and I want to have a collector.
Right.
And eventually, that's what I want to have for all these rifles. I want to have a shooter and then I want to have a collector.
Didn't they used to offer the different grades, or they got stricter?
They
I thought.
They still do. They still do.
They're running out of them though.
That's not the problem.
The time. If you don't jump on it soon, that's gonna end. Just like.
Was that the ones that Obama banned the 250,000 ones from coming back? Was it grants?
Yeah,
going to Canada?
The grants from Korea. I thought they were.
That's a massive blow, huh? 250,000 of them.
Yeah. And those are the type of rifles you want to get for CMP so that they can
continue the program.
Because that's they refurbish. That's what they refurbish. They would take something like that and and refurbish it and. That the collector's value of those is kind of like whatever because they're usually beat the shit. So,
well, think about how lucky we are that we live in America and that there literally is a civilian marksmanship program.
Yeah,
that thing needs to go on forever.
Well,
if possible.
It seems like some people would have it their way. It won't. So God only knows.
Right. It seems like it's being phased.
I mean, that to me is right up there with the Boys and Girls Club and all that kind of stuff. The Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, that to me is one of those things that you know, whether you're proud to be American or not, or whatever your trip is, that is a good positive thing. Like, you
I'm
know,
with Davey.
they're not out there causing trouble. They're trying to do right, be right, get kids off the street, you know. I don't know.
They ain't never shot a grand. How am I saying it? What's the right way?
I don't know.
Grand or grand? Grand.
Garand.
Like the fish.
Garand. Like Gar, like, yeah, Garand.
Model.
Yeah,
Bob,
I've never
Bob
shot
will
one.
come
I'd
back
love
and
to.
tell us that it was made by a Canadian or something. He'll be back in here any
Oh,
second.
they're coming in. I'm gonna get one for $20.
Yeah, you son of a
They're
bitch.
shipping them in. I got my first dibs.
Because I think if I can get a decent grade shooter, like it'd be a fair trade for what I have in this 1903. So hopefully I can get something decent out of it. I don't know. I still have to figure out all the. I've been buying books. That's where all my money's been going. Actually, I've bought quite a few books and I've been reading. That's how I figured out where this Mauser came from.
Nice.
And also the Swedes seem to be, well, up until 1941 they were really good about marking where their rifles came from. So, but after 41 they changed their system, so it wasn't as easy to figure out. But I don't know. I swear to God, I'm right at the point too where I have to start figuring out a new gun safe because I'm fucked, and I don't have the room, so I'm kind of like don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I don't have the room or the money to buy another safe, so I'm kind of like at a loss.
Can you, let's see.
I need to get a safe. Don't got no safe.
Yeah, I don't have a
So will it have to stay in whatever the specific area is, or are there other areas of where you live that you might be able to put something?
The only family member I have where I live is my aunt, and she doesn't have the room for any of my shit. You know, she lives in an apartment, so that ain't gonna work.
I gotcha. Well, you'll just have to buy the bed safe that's the box spring or whatever.
I like that, dude. I like the idea of that thing.
Yeah, that's actually I was looking at something like that, but I was just like, fuck. Even that, I live in like an old Victorian, and so if it's got to come upstairs, it's got to make this turn on the staircase, and making that turn on a staircase is difficult.
Well, that's why you could build something like, you know what I mean, for less money, that could work. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll figure something.
That's hard though. That is hard.
I also live in a house with just like one other person, so like I don't have kids, I don't have any of that shit.
So there's options, is what you're saying.
The only thing I worry about are
Just
thieves.
limited.
Worry about some kid getting.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
Well,
I don't.
just beef up the insurance. That's what I say.
I have renter's insurance for sure. I would. So that'd just be crazy, but.
Yeah, I know. I gotta get mine changed up here. Gotta get a rider.
On your renter's insurance, did you end up going through the like Allstate or whoever you have your car insurance through, or did you go through a totally different?
I went through a different. I have Geico or no Progressive for my car and Allstate for my house. So.
Okay. Oh well, you got the house. That's the thing. But yeah, if you're for a rent with the car, usually it's like at only $30 extra a year.
Well, right now I don't even have a car. I just have motorcycles. But
there's
a lot of insurance companies won't just. Like, you have to have a car to get motorcycle insurance, which is fucking ridiculous.
Really? That's fucked up, dude. Stupid. I used to go to Allstate for my bike insurance because it was always so cheap. It was always like $600 for the year, and then like $70 for the winter for storage.
Yeah.
And Allstate was always the cheapest, I thought. At least around here, for some reason, it was. See, in New Hampshire, you don't have to have insurance on anything. That's the thing. There's no insurance required. Yeah, we don't have a seatbelt law, dude. There ain't no seatbelt law in this
Not
state.
the case here, man.
The only state in the country now with no seatbelt law, no helmet law. We do have an eye protection law. I don't think Maine has an eye protection law, which I think is odd.
Eye protection law?
When you're riding on your motorcycle without a helmet, you gotta have sunglasses on. They pull you over in a heartbeat in New Hampshire for it.
That's crazy.
But Maine didn't used to have it. And I don't know if they still don't have it, which I think it's just asinine. I've had a bumblebee shatter more than one set of glasses.
I got hit in the chest with a bird, but that's...
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Whatever. Fuck that bird.
no doubt, dude.
Didn't feel bad about that one.
No.
That's one of those pests he was talking about earlier.
Exactly.
I don't hunt for sport. I'm not one of those people.
No, I don't either.
I don't hunt to kill things.
Yeah.
That chick that got all the flack for big game hunting, I have to say, I was just, part of me was like, yeah, fuck that chick.
It's just, I always think when, I'm kind of like, what, to each his own. But then if I watch it, it's like, God, I don't know. It's like certain things, like I can see like deer a bit because there are quite a lot of them. But when other things, just with a bear, when they shoot bear, it really gets me. If they're not a nuisance, they're just bear
fucking
hunts.
douchebag, just like all trophy hunters are fucking douchebags. So
Yeah.
I don't care if she's got a cunt or a tiny dick, she's still a douchebag.
Yeah.
Didn't know until about, I don't know. I remember at one point I realized a douchebag could be both a girl or male and female. For the longest time, I just thought of a douchebag as being a dude, and I'm like, whoa, douchebags come in both flavors. Holy shit.
Absolutely. Just like technically assholes do too.
Oh yeah. That's.
And other things.
Well, yes. Then there's that.
Did you get your Desert Eagle yet, Yankee?
No, it'll be Thursday.
But you did get the AUG. I saw a picture of that shit.
The AUG.
Yeah, did you see that subtle packaging they sent it in?
Did it really come like that?
That's the box it came in. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, they have faith in our.
It was a test for him.
Yeah, no kidding.
And what's the name of your bulldog? Mavis?
Mavis, right there. That's the box it actually comes in. Dire Og and great.
Oh my God! That is outrageous.
I was cracking up when you posted that on Facebook or whatever earlier today. I'm like, yeah, Mavis isn't really impressed with the packaging.
Nah, she's a fucking closet military arms channel fan.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, because it wasn't a Tavor. That's right.
That's why Yankee bought it, because he liked the packaging better.
Yeah. When I saw the box it came in, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. They actually put it in a box that says Steyr Og in great big block letters on the side. Looks like something from a cartoon.
Did you get in on one of the ones that was like about 16 hun as opposed to like 23? Yeah, nice.
$10 and came with 5 magazines.
And you got the NATO one even, right, where it actually uses AR. Yeah, that's a good deal.
Did you get a tan one? Or black or tan one?
I think you got the black one with a rail, I think.
Never saw an AUG either.
I never had the money for one.
They're sweet shooters.
I've never held a Tavor yet either, and seen what that felt like. It's not so. I don't. If I sold that one AR and just got like $1,300 for it, just pay another $400. Get something different. I guess I'm more into the modern stuff than the Garans and things.
The NATO version.
There you go.
Yeah, see, it's got rails and all kind of stuff. How light is that, buddy?
I don't know.
About that light?
Yeah.
It's nothing crazy, is it? It's like 8 pound, 8.5.
It feels lighter than Og, that's for sure.
I'm trying to stick an AK mag in it.
Yeah, that ain't gonna help.
There. There's the mag pool. Mags fit right in it.
Nice.
Why am I not seeing this shit?
Is your camera on?
Everything's wicked messed up online in the last couple of days. The internet's sucking.
Of course, I ain't had a chance to go shoot it yet. I'm gonna try to go shoot it tomorrow.
Does that have like a wicked quick change barrel, Yankee? Like you just twist and the barrel comes right out?
I went ahead and put some Magpul sights on it today so I can take it to the range tomorrow. So these will be there on there for temporary.
Are you gonna put an optic on it, or?
The only thing is, I'm noticing for some reason it's holding back on an empty magazine. I don't know why. It's not supposed to.
That's the good feature then. That'd be kind of neat if that was just a new thing.
You don't want that handle hanging back. Is that a non-reciprocating handle as well when it fires, or is it like an AK where it's going to go back every time?
I don't believe it goes back.
No, it's non-reciprocating, I believe.
Okay.
But then if I take the mag out, it pops back forward, but it won't pop forward on a...
Interesting.
So one of the things about the NATO ones is it's not supposed to have last round holdback.
That's weird.
And the trigger, the first ones I ever fired, trigger was long and scrapey and jerky and hard. This one is just very short and smooth.
That's interesting.
It's short and smooth. And, yeah, see, I can't get it to go forward without the damn... I gotta take the damn magazine out. But, the trigger's not bad at all. Now, the second one, the last one I fired the other day, I fired one and a guy had installed a new trigger in it, and it made it a lot lighter. Took it from like 9 pounds, or, like 9 something down to 6.5 pounds or something. So I think I'm going to go try one of those, or 7.5, then we'll try one of those for it.
Have you pulled that thing apart?
Not yet.
You going to actually get it dirty before you clean it this time?
No, I just haven't had a chance to take it apart yet.
Okay, yeah, no, that's exactly what I thought.
It takes about 4 seconds.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
that's
don't take long. Just to take the barrel out, you just got to pop this little lever right here, pop that down, and boom, barrel's off, and then everything basically all you got to do is like hold it upside down, shake it, and everything falls out of the damn thing.
You gotta have the bolt back first, right?
Yeah, you gotta have bolt back magazine out. And you gotta push this little catch right here. I think it is. But yeah, I just like this gun. It just I know some people like Tavors, but to me, Tavors feel like a chunk of plastic with a barrel sticking out of it. This feels like a metal gun with a plastic stock.
Are you going to start working on your Bavarian or German accent so when you're at the range you can quote?
I don't understand why people think that's so difficult. Yeah. Why is that so difficult? And you can even do it with your thumb up on that right there if you want. Because you can actuate this release with the button here like you normally would, just thumb. Real easy. Or you can actually do it this way, just do it with your thumb up on the... I know why people say, oh, the magazine's in a place that it's so hard to reload it. Why is that hard?
Maybe they're left-handed.
Maybe. They're just stupid.
Well, then there's always that possibility.
The bolt is stiff. Boy, it's hard to pull the bolt back. But yeah,
That should loosen up with a couple hundred rounds, though, right?
yeah, it should. It hasn't been lubed or anything yet, so. But yeah, this is going to be fun.
You should do a rare range video of that, of shooting it.
I probably will do a video of me shooting this one.
Nice.
It's comfortable, very comfortable. Only thing I don't like about bullpups is I don't like being right here if there's a failure.
Where the ejection port is and all that?
Combustion. Right here's the chamber, and here's your face if there's a failure.
I think they've shown, though, that the failures that they had just blew out the magazine and went... It hasn't been a problem.
No, I hope not.
I mean, it can't be any worse than the AR-15, which is sandwiched together, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, trigger's not bad, really. I mean, I am going to put the new trigger in it, but the guy, he won't take anything other than a U.S. postal check, money order. Can't be Wells Fargo or nothing. It's got to be U.S. Post Office.
I hate that shit.
Got to mail it to him with a with a like an index card with your address on it, so that he can mail it back to you. But
Do you feel confident in buying fucking something like this from
well,
somebody like
he's got a reputation online. He's well known.
He won't give any money to the man. That's why he don't want to
Right.
give up his 1.5%.
I'll say.
I'm like, just fucking say it's $26 if you buy it from me, and if you use PayPal, it's $28.
Yeah, exactly. That's my theory, and that's what most gun places do on Guns America.
Well, he sounds old school, and he might truly be old school.
You don't want to be want government track that.
Black helicopters.
Helicopters. Riddle me this, Batman.
There's a little bit about this trigger, but they'll think Glock has a good one. This trigger's no worse than a Glock trigger. I mean, it's not like it's definitely not shooting a bolt-action rifle or anything like that, but it's not that bad.
I was gonna say, well, it wasn't intended to be, right?
No, it's a battle trigger. It's meant to be where you don't fire it accidentally.
They're the actual battle rifle or whatever, the assault rifle. You pull in a little ways, single shot. You pull in all the way for full auto.
Yeah, it's pretty funky. So you go past the single shot to get to the full auto.
Yeah. So or a burst or whatever it has. I don't know if they come in burst.
That's a super interesting.
A lot of people complain about the trigger being real long and inconsistent, but here's the entire trigger movement.
So it's like a two-stage.
Well, let me show it to you. Actually,
Is that like a wall? Does it take up to a wall and then break?
No, it's like
it's kind of or like an AK trigger.
Like it's solid. You put 9.5 pounds pressure on it, breaks. There's no take up, no nothing.
Interesting.
Are you gonna mount the Glock knife on there?
Which is weird because I remember the first one I ever shot having a longer take up and more. I'm wondering if maybe it's the NATO.
Maybe it did. I mean, how long ago? When did you shoot that first one?
The NATO has one less trigger bar than the stock.
Yeah. So it's just this is better, but the one I shot most recently was just like last week, but it was a friend's and he's got it kind of modded out. He's got like the new trigger thing on it and everything, and it was basically this trigger but a little bit lighter.
I'm gonna get a bullpup. I just don't know which one.
Well, from what I hear on the internet, that one that hasn't even been out yet, and no one's even touched.
Yeah, there's
whatever.
another video up today from that one from Desert Tech.
Somebody's echoing.
Yeah.
Probably me. This starts it for some reason after a while.
Are you talking about the desert? Check. Yeah, it's you, Yankee. Thank you.
Yeah, it looks good. Good looking gun, that Desert Tech.
Yeah, but like I say, it's funny how the gun that isn't even out yet, that none of these people even own, is the greatest fucking thing ever coming.
Well, you gotta try.
That is just the perfect illustration of what is wrong with YouTube gun reviews. Well, it's not what's wrong with it. It's a perfect illustration of why people need to understand what YouTube gun reviews are for the most part. They are not reviews, they are promotions. It's like what I try to tell people. I was like, the Military Arms Channel isn't Consumer Reports. He's a firearm media channel. He's there to show you what's out there. He's not Consumer fucking Reports.
Yeah, all I care about is that it's reliable. I could care less about, if it's got a spongy trigger, big deal. But if it breaks, that's not cool. Like I've already busted my piggy bank over one modern rifle and had it be a pain in my ass, and I'm not gonna do it again.
I think that gun is silly. There is no point to have it.
Yeah, I don't think this really counts as a modern rifle. They've had about 38 years to work the bugs out.
What the hell just happened?
I thought Mika was going to say that he should send it to him, but I wasn't sure if that's where he was going with that.
He mentioned a car, I thought so.
I was sitting here. I'm not watching the screen. I'm just talking. I'm doing something else, and then a voice came up from like above. It sounded like it came from above and told me like rifle is stupid. I'm like, whoa, God, is that you? Like,
It did.
Jesus.
It was. It came out of the background there. It was
Felt like I was in like that. You ever seen that movie, Real Genius?
Yes.
This is Jesus. Stop touching yourself.
It really is you.
Hey, Chris. I remember the other day you were talking with Daniel about like him wanting like a milsurp rifle, and y'all were talking about the K31.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about getting it because I don't have a bolt action rifle right now.
Yeah.
But I like older guns, just like the historical aspect of it too. But do you think it'd be like good to just use as like a bolt action gun, like a normal like what's the downside of getting that over a modern bolt action gun? I guess.
Savage or something.
I mean, the only drawback I could tell you would be if you try to mount a scope to it, it'd be a pain in the butt. So if you a lot of these milsurp rifles are made to be, they weren't made to mount optics, and when they did mount optics, they'd cut